Yeah, yeah, yeah. So many lies that you hear from the net, they don't get her respect. She reporting the truth, not a check. You want an unbiased opinion straight from the chest, not a bit of accomplice or someone here for a check. Tune in, these are thoughts from a lawyer on a mission who goes so hard it's like she works on commission. Trolls in the comments might say she tripping cause they lack the knowledge, they don't know they missing. Got a couple current events that you like, wanna know about law from the eyes. Tired of all these blogs running lies because they agendas are disguised. Tune in to the intellect, cause I'm sure y'all missing all the facts of the case that she steady is gifting. Someone here for the people, man, it's so uplifting. If you ain't subscribed yet, then you just omitting facts.
Hello, everyone. It is Pam Esquire, also known as your law intellect. We are back on the Ellis versus Cardi B trial, of which Miss Ellis is accusing Cardi B of assaulting her when she was a security guard at a medical center when Cardi was going to a private, out of the hours, office hours. It was off hours. And she alleges that the security guard was trying to record her. Anyway, things went left, right. And the security guard, Miss Ellie, said that she got injured, of which she had a scratch on her nose and she had a deep cut on her cheek where she had to have surgery. And so yesterday, Miss Ellis testified, and we have that video as well. So after this one airs, you can go ahead and watch that. And today we watched the testimony of a doctor who was the plastic surgeon that treated the scar on Miss Ellis's cheek. We also heard from both Miss Schmitz, the mother and the grandmother, who was basically saying their child is so peaceable. Their child does not argue when their child does not fight. But she did call them hysterically, saying that Cardi B had allegedly attacked her. And so that is the rundown of what we've been talking about the last couple of days in streaming these trials. So if you would be so kind as to hit the like button on the way in. If you are on YouTube, make sure that you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I am actually streaming on Facebook as well. I usually don't stream on Facebook, but I decided I was going to do it today. Okay. So, if you are on Facebook and you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please consider subscribing. So, I'm going to greet all of you all. Hey, Kelly, good to see you. Ray, good to see you. Andrew, thanks for coming back. All of you guys that watched the morning session. The Dallas TX said her trial is not entertaining. I don't know what it is. It's getting a little dry to me. I don't know if it's just me, but it's getting a little dry. It's like it's giving our solar system exhibit A. Objection form, foundation, hearsay. Did you objection form, speculation, foundation, hearsay, assuming facts not in the evidence? They're like listing all of the evidentiary objections, and it's just giving dry. But I did like the grandma. Her grandma was so sweet. Diane Schmidt, the 77-year-old lady, she was really, really nice and sweet. And the doctor, I don't know. The doctor immediately almost switched up as soon as the jury was like, could it have been that she got scratched from her necklace or something that she was wearing? Did it have to be Cardi's, nails? It could be. I don't know. Do you know how old the scar was? Because she came to you in 2023, and this incident allegedly occurred in 2018. So, do we know the scar when she came to you was connected to this in any way? I mean, we can't tell the age of the scar, so I mean, it scars up after about a year, so we don't really know when she got the scar. And so Cardi B here has the look of the blonde wig today. She had a black bob on yesterday. So you guys, that's it. That's all I got right now for the intro for this trial. But we are in the afternoon. They should be coming back for lunch at any moment. Please make sure you hit the like button. 504 said 2018 is diabolical. I'm just reporting. We report from the neighborhood to Hollywood. I mean, I'm just reporting what they said, that the incident occurred in 2018. She filed her lawsuit in 2020, which is very interesting because then that means she didn't even go to the doctor until after she was litigating. This doctor specifically until after she was litigating. This was not a beforehand doctor that she went to. So, and then in 2022, she went to go see this plastic surgeon. 2023, he did the procedures that cost $17,500. But I had Miss Andree, who did her research, and this is what she said. She said micro needling can cost anywhere from $200 to $800 per session. That's what she sent me. Okay. But he said it was $17,500, and he kind of stiffed himself because he needed to charge it $4,000 more. But he adds a 20% upcharge if there's a lien on it. So basically, she probably told him this is an assault. We're in litigation right now. This is a part of the damages, and so you'll get paid. You know, I'll pay you when I get paid. So they sound like they have a lien on the settlement or the verdict or whatever. When they settle, they have to have to pay. But either way, she's gonna have to pay. The doctor made it clear if she would have came with some cash on that day, she would only have to pay 20% less. Now, this is a Yale Medical School doctor. He also went to Harvard as well. He's done some charity work. He said he is a super doctor. And so I guess the point was he deserves to charge all of this money. That was the point. He deserves to charge all of this money. And yeah, that's that. That's where we are, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed your lunch. Yes, he's a super doctor. That's what he said. He's a super doctor. Saying. 811 said her attorney encouraged this surgery. I mean, I don't. Yeah, you guys did Cardi wrong. She came in with the Marilyn Monroe wig today because you guys were talking about that black wig. I don't know if, it wasn't really bobbish. It was a little spockish. And so you guys were talking about her. Worried about the wrong things, okay? Paula said, you know what? Some accident, look, I do accidents too, okay? Some accidents are legit now, Paula. Don't make it seem like everybody that's trying to, with auto insurance, you pay $1 quadrillion for 20 years. Then as soon as you need to utilize it, they want to investigate you and put you in the special investigative unit, and you never were hurt, and you always had all these ailments since you were 2. So we're not going to compare it, because some of these insurance companies are wild. All right, let's see. We are here for justice. You on vacation? How dare you take a vacation? Let me give you some work to do, Val. I'm a little behind in my firm, so looking for some little work to do on your vacation. You give me a call. Lulu's little girl said $5 for damages. The treadmill game. Thank you for the super chat. You said Cardi needs to pay up for what exactly? Do y'all not know that people don't just gotta? Let's just assume, like I said yesterday, that Cardi did smack the lady, scratched her up, was doing this with her nails. This damage portion, they are grasping for straws. This is why you have these people coming on talking about how she was so traumatized. She was depressed. They're trying to make it more of an emotional because there's really no physical injuries. Y'all not picking up what they're putting down? A lot of they're making it really then he spent more time trying to prove why this $17,500 was an appropriate amount, that he almost forgot that you need to talk about the scar. Yes, it's possible that other situations or incidents, traumatic incidents, could have caused this scratch. But in my expertise, beyond a reasonable degree of medical certainty, it is my belief that this is a scratch from a human hand that scratched him. Yes, it came from the right side, but people fight like this. Like, it does not mean that you have to be right or left-handed. That's it. But he got so hyper focused on, well, let me prove this $17,500 makes sense. And that's been part of the problem in this good case. Okay. She needs accountability for what? Were you there? Hello, Treadmill Games. I appreciate all the super chats, but were you there or something? Are you a witness? Are you about to be called? Do we have one of the witnesses in the chat? Are you about to be called in this case? I appreciate if people just say, I don't like a person, and therefore I am not going to actually put the facts with the evidence. I can appreciate that. Don't understand it and think it's ridiculous, because you wouldn't want that to happen to you or your family. But just be honest. Don't make it seem like you have some type of intellectual, substantive basis for your comment, because you don't. Okay? Just saying. I told him, Val, I got my little plaques too. Tony Ross, back in the day, music videos, and now you have a very long title. Very, very long. You said Cardi B is always in some S, and yes, I don't like her. Okay. That's cool. I respect it. That's your opinion. Yeah, we're just waiting on this trial to get started. Good day, everyone. I missed the morning session, but I'm here for the afternoon. Thank you so much. Make sure you hit the like button. I appreciate you coming on over here and chopping it up with the intellects. A Knowles 84 said, I don't think damages are legit, but I do believe Cardi struck this girl. Okay. Do you believe that the girl struck her too, though? Was it a fight, or was it she was fighting, Cardi was beating her up, and she was protecting herself? What do you think happened? Call Me Darling said, Pam, they don't want the legal answer. They just want her to pay because of their personal feelings. They forget they are on a law channel and not a messy gossip channel. Yes, and there are plenty of those around if that's what you want. I can almost refer you. If you DM me, I'll refer you to the ones that will say exactly what you want to hear. But no, we don't do that over here. And again, she's putting on her case in chief right now. And these are the opinions of people that's watching it. You have to look at the questions. Some of these people, I'm assuming, aren't watching this trial. When you look at even the questions from the jurors, they are legit asking the same questions that we were asking. Like the exact same questions. And I think the lawyer should have brought those questions and answers out. I hope he gets his bearings. Maybe he just needed a little nourishment to his body. So maybe he'll come back at lunchtime and things will move a bit smoother. However, the morning was kind of all over. The morning felt like trial skills when I was in law school. It legit felt like, because you're learning, like for me, I didn't have any family or anybody close to me that was a lawyer like that. So I literally went to law school learning everything there. No outside experience, no anything. I didn't learn how to practice till I graduated, but like to just have a taste of it, I had trial skills. And if you knew what you were doing in the way, my profs would just objection, 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 and you got to figure out the rules of evidence and how to rephrase your question and what you're doing wrong and all of that. It will throw you off. That's why the preparation for this is like, it's very interesting. Yes, please hit the like button before my sister 504 said it felt like a train wreck in slow motion. Tracy said, didn't Cardi plead guilty to hit? She did. She did plead guilty, from my understanding, to that assault case she got. I believe it was, wasn't that over Offset? Yeah, she pled guilty to that. Jers Jones. I see a lot of new names. I hope you guys are subscribed to the channel. If you're new over here, let us know. A 2018 incident caused somebody can't obey the rules, broke HIPAA, and is Cardi's fault. FOH. That's what Jers Jones had to say. He said, yeah, and serves the community service. So she admitted to her wrongs, and she did. See, y'all just want to believe everything bad about Cardi B. That's what it is. And that is the dangerous part of being a public figure, and why you have to be careful with how you behave in the public. Because the public never forgets. The public is your jury of your peers. And so, again, there was a motion in limine of which they cannot talk about any of her prior bad acts. But do we know for sure that the jury doesn't know about it anyway? But I think the jury is really asking the questions. They're being very inquisitive and asking very thought out questions from this direct and cross examination that has happened the last couple of days. So I think so far she may get a fair outcome. Again, this is just the plaintiff's case in chief, and we're scrutinizing it. Usually the defense makes you feel like, I don't know if the plaintiff has it or not, but the plaintiff is looking a bit rocky in their case in chief that they're presenting. So yeah, I know you meant to say new subby, but thank you so much. I try not to be. So if I'm gonna be biased, I'll tell you. I'm very honest, and I'll say, listen, I don't really like them, but I'm gonna try my best. That's what I had to do, in a couple of other cases. Jennifer said, I wish people knew HIPAA doesn't apply to everyone and everything. I've said that a few times, Jennifer, so I don't really say it anymore. Everyone is not subjected to the HIPAA laws. I'm not, I have attorney-client privilege. Well, that I do have, but so right now we're just waiting. It said 4:30, as you guys see. It's 4:45 and it has not come on yet. Wade's Modern Life says some people have a dislike for Cardi and or stands of others for whatever reason or another. However, the facts in this situation are leaning her way. The facts don't disappear just because you dislike her. And that is the truth. And you have to put the facts to the law. And it's on the struggle bus right now, but we don't know. We only had, again, 4 witnesses. We had Miss Ellis yesterday. We had Grandma Schmidt. We had Mother Schmidt. And then we had the doctor who charged $17,500 for microblade. Well, he said $9,000 of it is for the surgical center, I think, that they used. Yes, while we wait patiently, please tap that like button. Shanti 1 and 1 said they just throw HIPAA around, but a security guard in a medical facility definitely should not be taking photos of people. Well, I'm assuming there is if the contract, I'm assuming in that contract is something that's probably in there if it's airtight that will prohibit, and whether it's an NDA or something of that nature, that may be something that the security guard company has their employees sign, especially if they know they're going to be in the vicinity of, first of all, it's a medical facility and you can see anybody. So I would assume that they definitely do stuff like that when I know a lot of people that do security for celebrities. They definitely have them sign those type of contracts and NDAs for celebrities. Elite Leo said Cardi needs to develop some self-discipline and emotional intelligence, becoming a pattern of behavior that can eventually hurt her. She has a lot of brand deals and she'll want to protect. Yeah. And I believe her kids have somewhat calmed her down. But you have to look at the environment that people came from. And when you see her on like Love and Hip Hop, when she first came on the scene on Love and Hip Hop, I remember that because that's how long ago it's been since I even looked at Love and Hip Hop, around when Cardi was on there. And she was herself, and people fell in love with Cardi for being that round the way girl, that home girl, and her being herself and being able to make, she legit got it out the gutter, and she has a story. Becoming a multimillionaire, she has a story that will definitely people will admire, and young people admire, like somebody that looks like me. But yes, once you get to a certain level, you have to, unfortunately, change. Well, sometimes fortunately, change who you're around. You don't answer everybody's phone calls. You don't become as accessible, and you have to be careful about the positions that you put yourself in. And you also, like you said, you have to have self discipline. But can you imagine, like the Cardi B that we've seen, and she was pregnant? I wanted to fight people when I was pregnant. I'm not going to lie. I'm not saying it's okay. But I'm just saying everybody got on my nerves. I just woke up mad. I just was like, especially when it's towards the end, you just wake up angry. So I can't imagine that while going through the hormones of being pregnant. That probably was, might have been a little rough for Cardi. But I do agree with you that to whom much is given, much is required. And I think she's done better. I don't think she crashes out that often, in my opinion. But I also don't really follow her that much, so I wouldn't really know either. So I'm just speculating. Tracy said, I'm following the Alexi Trevino case, and they said recording in the hallway is a public space and you have no expectation of privacy. I thought that was weird because they see patients in hallways. So, technically, from a legal standpoint, the hallways are what you call a common area. And like, well, in apartment buildings, it's like a common area. When you go to public spaces, you're an invitee, depending on what, like they designate you depending on the places that you are from a legality standpoint. So technically, that's just what the paparazzi do, and this is what the problem we had with Princess Diana. They get in your space. That's why Kanye, what he grabbed that phone. We have videos of celebrities taking their kids to soccer practice. So in theory, people get paid a whole lot of money to invade your space. But no, is it technically invading your privacy under the law? No, not necessarily, because you're in a public space. So that is true. But like you said, from a medical standpoint, if there is a contract that must be filed, not filed. If there's a contract that must be signed, then that would be totally different. You don't have that right because you were hired and you agreed to this. So that would be a breach. So yeah, all circumstances depends, lawyer's favorite words. It depends. It depends. Toria said, yes, she definitely should change her people, places, and things. Cardi has a great deal of stress and pressure on her. People always wanted something. And I don't know. Cardi's all right with me. Does she always make the right decisions? No. I mean, but who always makes the right decision? So yeah, I think she does have to do better. But the thing is, a lot of these cases, they just seem a little shaky. Like the ones that have come out lately just seem a little shaky. Now I don't know about the mic toss. Allegedly she told people that they can throw water earlier on and nobody was doing it anymore. Then it wasn't water. Somebody said it was something else in the cup. I mean, so we'll see. That might be another one she takes to trial once she gets served. So we gonna see. We about to see. You said taking their kids to elementary school. Holly Berry went off on those camera people. Yeah, that happens a lot, unfortunately. But this is the price you pay for fame. Yeah, it's on video. Definitely on video. We know it happened. But what I'm saying is, what was her rationale behind how she responded like that? The argument for the plaintiff in that case is that everyone was doing it. She told everyone it's hot and she wants water on her. And she was just doing what everyone was doing. But what was interesting is she took the cap top off, she threw it from what I saw, and then she immediately was like, I'm sorry, or whatever. And and it looked like she was the only one that was throwing it at the time. So I don't know how that's going to kind of be reconciled with everybody was doing it, because they may have been doing it at one point, but it did look like she was the only one with a cup in her hand at that time. But we'll see. That's another trial for another day. That's over there in Vegas. I Miss Nicole said the phone number Ellis called at 1:40 for 8 minutes per her T-Mobile phone records was not her mom or grandma. Ellis testified that it was one of her family members named Nicholas Jackson. Okay, y'all. Toria said, Pam, why is this girl allowed to bring this from back in 2018? The case was filed in 2020. And typically for assault, it's a 2-year, I believe it's a 2-year statute of limitation. Of course, it depends on where you are. And so it was brought within the requisite amount of time. So yeah. Munchai Fruits. Welcome. I haven't seen you before either. The girl threw ice in Cardi and it hit Cardi's face. She explained it. Okay. Yeah, I knew it was more to it. I can't say I read the complaint. When the complaint was filed, I did go over that. And yeah. Hold on. You said she did lie. She said she was checking her voicemail because her mom has cancer. She don't always get to answer her phone. Okay. Thank you for being here. I appreciate. Would I have taken this case? No. Absolutely not. But that's just me. That doesn't mean yay or nay whether she has one or not. There are cases I've turned down that a lot of people might take, but no. Yes, COVID delayed a lot of cases, and the courts are still trying to catch up. And it seems like some states are worse than others. I think here in Michigan, we're pretty much caught up. We're not that bad. But New York, California, they just seem like their dockets. I look at those the numbers, I'm like 2020, it's 2025. Like what? I was just in court the other day. They're like, this case has been going on for 362 days, counsel. What do you plan on doing? They don't play that where I'm at. Now they get through them dockets. You hear me? Yeah. Courtney. You said cut. Oh my God. I did not cover Can't Read Sunshine H Town. I think I had something else going on where I knew I couldn't adequately cover it, so I didn't. I wish I would have put the time into it, but I just couldn't swing it. Toria said I don't really keep up too much like before. I just think they both threw hits, so let this go. She probably really just wants money. I'm sure she does want money. Why else would she be suing civilly? Um, it's 5 o'clock. What y'all doing? What you guys doing over here at the courthouse in California? We're waiting on this trial now. The thumb. Why is the thumbnail taking you? Huh? 504 said the same thing. Why is the thumbnail taking you out? Was that not the evidence that was presented this morning? That was the scar on her face. I'm just letting everyone know what the scar. Let's see what happens next, okay? I'll be down below in the corner. I'm supposed to be charging my phone. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, Patty Patty. Just Patty. No, it's not in the jury's hand. Mr. Big Play Bray. No, it's not in the jury's hands. The plaintiff is putting on its case in chief. We haven't even got to Cardi's side yet. We're only on day 2. This is the 5th witness. Well, 4 witnesses have testified, 3 today and 1 yesterday. We're still at the beginning stages, bro. You got to hang on in there. Measure Man said, what that dude say is above me now. Oh gosh. I can't. Can we get some sound here? A little bit of sound. Somebody told me that too, that she had pictures that day that showed her nails and they were shorter. Yes, sis, that is the injury to the face. That is her injury. Hey, Dad Pot, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, we missed the recross on Miss Nicole. It blacked out and that was it. And they like kept streaming for a while, but Cardi ended up tweeting. She tweeted on this is what made me get off. She tweeted, "See y'all tomorrow," and we were still on there on the little black screen. Cardi was gone in her car on the way home, and we were sitting there waiting for the black screen to come off and recross. So, Tay Green, welcome. Thank you for commenting. Said, I think the doctor saw a big payday in a way to get his name out there and ran with it. You know, the doctor, I think he probably is known, if I were to assume, if he's, you know, you didn't hear that he was a super doctor? Super doctor. So he probably was known. You know, he said he has 2 offices, one in Beverly Hills. He went to Yale Medical School. I mean, he probably is not hurting and getting clients, but you got to agree that $2,000 an hour is a nice little racket. So you guys see this too, why this is also important to this attorney, because he took this on contingency. He only gets paid if he recovers. So we know, this is what I'm telling you about how civil cases can be expensive. So what we do know so far is he's paid at minimum the $2,000 for the couple of hours this doctor was on there. And then anytime he's done the other side probably paid for his deposition because they wanted to depose him. But consultations, all of that stuff, you have to pay. And if he does not win this case for his client, you got to chalk that up as a loss. Because when you take it on contingency, you also take on all the costs. You don't get them till the end. So that's another thing. You do a cost benefit analysis. I don't know if she actually offered any money. She might have said, I ain't giving her 2 cents. I don't know what the situation is. But what I do know is if the jury comes back and that award is $5,000, that could be wiped out by fees. Now, sometimes you'll get attorneys that waive it and they'll say, that's okay. I'm not going to take my fees. But that's a possibility. Sometimes you can get an award that is only as much as your cost. And that's why people will say, oh, attorneys took all my money. No, this stuff is expensive. And if I come out my pocket, then I am entitled to my reimbursement before you even can get your portion. I can get my money back. So, yeah. But we'll see. The security guard is a woman. It's okay, that part. Her name is Miss Ellis. She is a woman. She alleges that Cardi B assumed she was taking pictures of her or recording her, went off on her when she was going to her doctor's appointment, which was a private affair because it was off hours. So people wouldn't know. Remember, Cardi was trying to keep that pregnancy secret at first with the first kid. And, you know, she does her big reveals all the time. So you don't know when she's pregnant. And so that was supposed to be what occurred. And they got into an argument. She alleges Cardi was calling her all type of black ninjas and whatever else, and just derogatory terms. This is why people are saying they want Cardi to lose. That's what they're saying, but it's like they're saying she's known for that, so that's part of what they're saying. That's what they're alleging. But again, you got to prove this stuff in court. I don't care what you're alleging somebody did before, but that's what she said. They start arguing back and forth. I don't know if she admits that she hit Cardi at all. I don't remember that. Y'all help refresh my recollection. But anyway, she says that Cardi scratched her on her nose and scratched her on her cheek, and her cheek required surgery from the plastic surgeon because she had really sharp nails. She always had long, sharp nails. And yeah. Why you say that? It's probably going to be 10 to 15 minutes before they're back. Shanti 181 said, not looking like a loss. She can be a crime boss, but this girl's case is weak as F. My sister is on vacation. She ain't got nothing but time to make you guys feel bad about not hitting this like button. So hit this darn like button. Pam's likes matter. Okay. Lucinda. Oh my goodness. 504 said maybe she should have turned the other cheek. I am trying to be serious in this. You guys make it very, very hard for me to look like this is a serious case, and I am trying to give my legal commentary. You guys make it really hard for me with these comments. I'm trying to remain neutral. I'm trying to remain professional-ish. And yet, you guys make these types of comments. How am I supposed to present commentary and you guys say things like this without me just laughing, getting on the floor, rolling around the floor laughing with tears coming out? Like, how am I supposed to not do that with these types of comments? Like, what? What up, no, Von Renee? Man, Measure Man, don't they have you cracking up? Oh gosh. You said sis Cardi wins all her cases. If Cardi do something to me, I'ma just go to jail. No cases. Well, Cardi's doing well on the civil front. I'm just saying. She got that 4 million on the Tasha K joint. And she said on this one, she about to spend the necessary coinage as well. She doesn't care. Yeah, we supposed to be. I don't know what's happening right now. I don't know what's happening. It looked like Court TV got it on private. Why do I see it on? Hold on. Perfect, thank you. You may take a seat. Please watch your stuff. I don't even know who that person is. Hold on. Oops, hold on. I'm sitting up here trying to. Why they still got their stuff at the ceiling? Hold up. Let me find this other channel.
for a workers' comp injury.
And just if you just tell us a little bit about your education and background, please.
I'm gonna back it up a little bit.
What exactly is it you would like to know?
Yes.
I had it on the other one, and apparently, I don't know what that's about.
So call.
Yes, Your Honor. I think we'll call Nicole McKinsey to the stand.
Thank you.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly state that the testimony you may give and the cause now pending before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. May I please have you state your first and last name and spell for the record?
Nicole McKenzie, NICHOLE, MCKENCIE.
Perfect, thank you. You may take a seat, please watch your step.
All right, go ahead, Michael.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you all for coming back. Good afternoon, Dr. McKinsey. Thank you for coming here today. Are you under subpoena to be here today?
Yes.
And you were served a subpoena from both sides?
Yes.
Do you remember seeing the person on my right, Emani Ellis, in your office, medical office?
Yes.
Do you remember why she came in?
For a workers' comp injury.
And just if you just tell us a little bit about your education and background, please.
What exactly is it you would like to know?
Yes. You're a psychologist, correct?
Yes.
You deal with emotional injuries.
Yes.
What else do you deal with as a psychologist?
Primarily emotional injuries.
Do you ever deal with physical injuries?
No.
If a patient were to tell you about their physical injuries, is that something that you would want to know for the reason of coming up with a diagnosis? Or is that just something general that you may or may not want to know? Objection. Compound.
Submit.
I'm free to answer.
No. You,
Oh,
so
okay.
when the judge will say sustained, then you will not answer.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Approximately how long after, sorry, do you remember the date of when you saw Miss Ellis?
Not the exact date. I believe it was 2018 just because of the year listed either on the subpoena. But it's been a while.
Okay, there's a notebook in front of you, the one on your right. If you could open it to Exhibit 4, it will just show you your own medical records to ask you if they are your medical records.
You said 4?
I'm sorry, number 2, I apologize.
Yes.
And if you look at the bottom right corner, in our exhibit book 2-001 through 2-023, all those pages, if you have a moment just to quickly look through and just confirm that those are in fact your medical records, correct? You need to take your time to do this.
Objection. I think this is confirmed medical records.
Yes.
It's just that's really what this right now.
Yes.
At the time of the incident, did Miss Ellis advise you she was making $13.50 an hour?
Yes, according to the report.
Okay. Is that something relevant? I mean, why would you put that in the report? Does it have to do with the lost wages, or why would that be in the report?
Objection, compound, violation.
Hold on.
Like I said, it's been a while, and so from what I can remember, that information is usually included in all reports for clients who come in for workers' comp injuries.
And at that time, in 2018, you worked for Management Inc.
Yes.
And what is Management Inc.?
It is a psychological corporation that typically provides psychological treatment and evaluations for people who have sustained industrial injuries.
Have you always maintained a license of PsyD, or was it PhD at one point? Did it change, or it's always been the PsyD?
It has always been SEDI.
So you never went into like family, LA MFT, or you don't have any of the other licenses? You went straight for this?
Yes.
And how long does it take to get this stuff licensed after undergraduate degree?
After undergraduate degree,
Yes.
roughly 6 years.
So in order to become a psychologist after high school, you spent approximately 10 years, is that fair?
Yes.
And what is the distinction between a PsyD and a PhD? Is there a difference?
The main difference that I can report is PsyDs are more clinically focused on psychological treatment, versus PhDs can also provide clinical treatment, but they can also focus more on research.
Okay. And before today, it's probably been several years before you looked at your medical file, correct?
Yes.
And that's because you no longer work at Management Inc. You opened your own practice or work for a different practice, correct?
I work for a different employer.
And when you work for Management, you were an employee for them?
Yes.
Now, if you look at the first page of your report, date of injury, it says 2/24/18. Do you know if that's accurate?
Objection, Flax Foundation, culture sector.
Sustained. That's also there.
I'll represent to you that the date of incident is February 24th, 2018. That's the date of the injury. And that's the date it says in your report, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then it says the date of your examination, April 26, 2018. Do you know if that date is accurate?
I believe so.
All right. And then if you go to Exhibit 2-5, the fifth page, there's another report which has a different exam date. Do you see that?
Yes.
And that was August 10th of 2018, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Without going into the expert reasons or the psychological reasons or anything like that, I just want to understand. You asked the patient to come back a second time, correct?
They were asked to come back several times after the first visit.
Okay. And if there was nothing wrong with them, would they come back for a second visit? If you know, do you know?
Flax Foundation, culture sector.
Sustained.
When you see a patient, not this patient, one time for the first time, and there's nothing wrong with them, would you see them a second time, or you usually say, I'm sorry, there's nothing wrong with you, goodbye?
Objection, compound, Flax Foundation, culture circulation.
Give your answer.
I would see them a second time.
And if you go back to the page 1, which is 2-001, in the first paragraph, you go through a job description of what the patient came to see you for. You basically have a job description of what your patient was doing at the time of the incident, correct?
Objection made.
Yes.
Okay. And what was her job title from what you see? What would it be?
Security guard.
And you did a comprehensive psychological evaluation of Emani Ellis, correct?
Objection.
outside the scope of her designation. Wasn't designated.
Yes.
How long did you spend with her on that day, if you know?
For the preliminary evaluation or the psychological evaluation?
The whole thing combined on February 26th of 2018. You may not have an exact time frame, but I want to know that based on your experience for this type of care, how many minutes did you spend with Emani Ellis on that day?
I cannot recall.
Was it more than an hour?
It may have been.
In general, when you see the patients to go over their emotional injuries, how long do you usually spend with them? Is it usually an hour, 30 minutes? I mean, there is a minimum, right?
Right. On the initial visit, typically an hour to an hour and a half.
Okay. And then on page 2-002 on that exhibit, towards the bottom, you, in quotes, have some profanities that are in your report. Is there a reason why you would write profanities in your report?
Just to capture the client's report in their own words.
And the patient told you that the celebrity made the profanities?
According to the report, yes.
And the profanities were F you fat ass, sorry to say it, bitch. That's why you do security. That's why I'm going to get you fired. That's why I'm rich and you're poor. That's what you wrote there, correct? In quotes.
Yes.
Do you have a dictation machine where you record them saying these words?
I write it down, and there are times when I did use a dictation machine.
When the patient was telling you this information, did you use that information in your diagnosis and treatment of the patient?
Actually, outside the scope.
This statement,
Yes.
I can't say that I did.
Why is it important to write down these profanities in your report for a psychologist? Why did you feel it was important to put that in your report? Why?
With regards to workers' comp injuries, we tried to document clients' statements using their own words.
Are you aware that in workers' compensation, the applicant is held to the laws of perjury and must be honest and truthful in their reports of injuries? Is that your understanding as a doctor?
Yes.
And at the end of a lot of these reports, you yourself will declare under penalty of perjury that everything is accurate. Isn't that true?
Yes.
Okay. And in fact, if we go to 2-004 at the end of your report, you do in fact write that and you sign that. Is that your signature there?
Yes.
Okay. And it says, I further declare under penalty of perjury that I have not violated the provisions of California Labor Code Section 139.3, 139.31, operative January 1st of 94, with regard to this evaluation of this patient and the preparation of this report. Why is this paragraph always written in these reports? Do you know?
Just to make a statement that the information we gather is true to our knowledge.
Do you ever, or have you ever treated a patient on a lien basis?
I want to say yes. The majority of clients that come in for workers' comp injuries, I believe they're treated on a lien basis.
Okay. So what that means is you see the patients, you submit a bill, and then you wait to get paid at a later time. Correct?
The corporation would submit a bill and it would get paid at a later time.
And sometimes they're denied. Correct?
Correct.
Do you know if yours was granted or denied?
I cannot recall.
Now, I really want to understand one thing. As a psychologist, if I came to you and I said, I broke my middle finger I injured my left shoulder, I broke my knee, I broke my back, I fell on the ground and I hit my head and I got a big bruise on my head and I have psychological issues. Would you really be focusing on the physical or would you be more focused on the psychological?
I would focus on the psychological injuries that were a result of the physical injuries.
Okay. So it would be nice to know those details, but you probably wouldn't write verbatim, word for word, the physical injuries, correct?
My focus would be the psychological injuries.
So if there were physical injuries here, for example, if there was a scar or a scratch or something physical and it's not perfectly mentioned here, does that mean it didn't occur?
I don't know how to answer that question. Usually, from what I can recall, if it's documented in one of the intake forms, I will address it or mention it, but I can't recall whether it was or was not.
Are you aware that in this case, the defense has designated Dr. James Rosenberg as a psychiatrist in this case? Are you aware of that?
No,
Okay. Are you aware that Dr. Rosenberg will not be testifying about any physical injury?
Objection, Your Honor.
If the patient that you see does tell you about their physical injury, and you do want to know about it and put it in your report, or would you then come up with a diagnosis as to the physical injury or not?
no,
You don't treat any physical injuries, correct?
no.
If Emani Ellis came to you that day on February 24th, 2018 with a cut in her face, would you do anything to treat the cut?
No,
What would you tell her? You tell her to leave and go to the hospital or go to a medical doctor, right?
if a patient comes and they have a physical injury, typically they are referred to a physical doctor to address those injuries.
Aside from the cut to Miss Emani Ellis's face, did Miss Emani Ellis complain about any other physical injury to you?
Objection, argumentative, contrary to the evidence.
I can only report on the physical symptoms that were included in the report, and that states headaches and trouble sleeping.
But how about physical injury to the body, like her face, her neck, her back? Is there anything physical that was really documented by you as a psychologist?
I would have to read through the report, but I cannot recall.
And what is MMPI? What does that mean?
That's a psychological test.
And you did that test for this patient?
She completed the test, and it was interpreted.
And what does it entail to do the MMPI test? What does the patient have to do?
It is a questionnaire. I cannot recall if it's 500 and something odd questions, true and false, that ask about various symptoms.
And you did the test, you had her do the test in your office?
I believe she completed the test, and it was scored by my office and interpreted.
Okay. And you were paid for that test? You billed for that test, correct?
I believe so.
And after that test, on Exhibit 2-017, if you can look at that page, date of exam, November 26, 2018. Do you see that?
Yes.
So after you did the test, You then decided to do a psychological reevaluation, correct?
Yes.
And on page 2 of that report, which is Exhibit 2-018, you have some diagnoses that you've written in your report.
Yes.
And you again declare under penalty of perjury that all of this is accurate, and that's your signature on Exhibit 2-19.
Yes.
And if you look at Exhibit 2-20, your office billed $600 for treatment on that date, April 26, 2018, correct?
Yes.
Do you know if you were paid for that or not?
I do not.
And then if you look at the following page, Exhibit 2-21, there's some additional dates which I want to go over with you. August 10th of 2018, you billed $300 for treatment, is that correct?
You said August 10th,
August 10th of 2018.
2018. There's several.
Yeah, the first two. 150 and 150, correct?
Yes,
So that's the second time she came to you, correct?
I believe so.
As far as the records say. Yes?
Yes.
And then on May 18th of 2018, again, $150 for individual psychotherapy, correct?
The actual developments of all of this, given that
Yes.
In looking at your bill, which would be Exhibit 2-20, 2-21, and 2-22. I count approximately 7 different dates of service that you treated this patient. Is that accurate? Did you see her 7 times?
sorry, yes, developments, yeah. Foundation, but also developments. And overall.
Is that true?
I can't say whether I saw her 7 different times.
Okay.
Typically, when clients see me at the corporation, I would see them initially. They would then be referred to a psychological assistant for treatment. And then I would see them several times after just to sort of check in and do the evaluations of my progress.
Okay, I understand.
Ma'am, did you receive
How about
the
this
document?
then? Ms. Emani Ellis, according to this bill, came to Managed Med Inc. on 7 different occasions, 7 different dates between April 26, 2018 and January 15th of 2019. Just the number of visits. Do you agree with that, doctor?
According to this bill, yes.
And if my math serves me correct, the combined billing that your office billed Ms. Ellis, or Ms. Ellis's work comp, was $5,087. Is that correct? If you were to add $600, $3,787. Actually, it's there for you on the last page. 2-23, total lien. You see the total lien?
Yes, $5,087.
And so then, in fact, you did treat her on a lien basis, correct?
Correct.
And then you do that all the time then, when you work for management.
Yes.
It's a routine procedure.
Yes.
Nothing improper to do that, right?
No.
Action. Assisting.
Most people are subpoenaed. That's not
Okay.
uncommon. But you want to make sure they're there.
Are you familiar with CPT codes?
Billing codes?
Yes.
Not that familiar.
But you have to know them for your practice?
I don't, because I
But a
don't bill.
Is it reasonable for a psychologist to charge $600 for 2 hours of psychological treatment?
Objection.
Sustained.
It depends.
It's the objection sustained.
And the MMPI exam that Ms. Ellis did, do you know approximately how many hours it took her to complete the 500 questions?
Objection, nice.
Overruled.
I don't know how long it took her. Typically, it will take the client several hours to complete them, depending on their level.
Okay. You think it would be less than or more than 4 hours?
It might be less than 4 hours.
Ah, everybody uses a tap.
Okay, and then if
No.
we can go to Exhibit 2-13. In the discussion, it says that she was referred for psychological evaluation. Who referred her to you, do you know? Sorry, 2-013 in the right-hand corner. And it's right under discussion in the second paragraph. Oh, sorry, first paragraph, in the middle of the page. Do you see that there?
213, the middle of the page.
Yeah, Miss Emani Ellis was referred for psychological evaluation. Does that mean she's referred to you, or you're referring her to somebody else?
She was referred to the clinic.
Do you know how she was referred to the clinic?
Most clients are referred through their attorney.
And that's the workers' compensation attorney?
Yes.
Do you know who that attorney would be? It's not me.
According to the report, it's the employee legal advocates.
And then in the next paragraph, it talks about the fact that she was conducting regular patrols at the building, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And that she came into contact with a female music celebrity. Are you familiar? I wasn't asking a question. The question is this: are you familiar with actress or celebrity, musician, rapper, Cardi B?
Yes.
You know her?
Yes.
How do you know?
Through television.
Do you respect her work?
Objection,
Sustained.
Are you a fan of Cardi B?
objection,
Sustained.
Do you have any bias to testify in favor of the plaintiff or the defendant in this case?
No.
No? You either way, you're just here to tell the truth, correct?
Correct.
And further on, it talks about, well, let me ask you this. Why was it so important to document all of these details? Why are you documenting all of these details about the telephone and her listening to her voicemails? Is there a reason why it was there?
There's no particular reason. Usually, it's just to capture the incident in the client's own words. And so we try to obtain as much detail as we can for the attorneys and those involved in the case.
Okay, and isn't it true that in your report, you document that Emani Ellis was holding her cell phone, reportedly listening to her voicemails?
objection, is there a document?
Sustained. So, to the extent that there's hearsay statements that are offered for treatment, that's one thing. This doesn't relate to treatment. So, your questions are I'm going to start sustaining the court's own hearsay objections regarding anything that doesn't have to do with medical treatment.
Thank you. The next sentence, I want to ask you if it has to do with treatment. Ms. Ellis reports that the person responded by saying, in quotes, "Don't be telling people you effing see me." Is that something that you use for medical treatment and diagnosis of your patients?
Objection, hearsay.
Overall.
So what page is that?
That's on the same page. It's just the next sentence. sentence number 4 and 5 on the second paragraph under discussion. You see where it says Miss Ellison reports? Miss Ellis reports.
And what was your question again?
So the question is when you wrote in quotes, don't be telling people you effing see me. Did you use that sentence in your diagnosis and treatment of Miss Ellis?
No,
Why did you put that there?
just capturing the client's incident according to her report.
Right? And
I agree. This is painful at this point.
did you put these statements, the other quote and this quote, in your report to measure the extent of the psychological damage?
No,
And then you say after that the individual then proceeded to put her finger in the applicant's face, almost touching her nose. Did you use that sentence for treatment of this patient?
no,
But why are all of these statements in your report?
again, just capturing the client's report of the incident.
And when you say capturing, did you record it, or is it something that you heard and then later on went and made your report?
Are you asking if I wrote them in my own words or the information was captured from the
I guess time passes. So for example, if your patient comes in and gives you the history of what happened to them, and you're not recording them, and you're not typing it out right there and then, things could be lost in time. Details. Some of them are, some of them are not. So the question is, are you taking down the history in real live time, like that camera with a 30-minute delay? Or is it something where you hear the history, maybe you take down some notes, and you come back a month later and write your report?
in real life time, the camera with the 30 minutes.
What's that?
Then in real life time, like the camera,
You do it that way.
yes.
You had her on video?
Not on video, but either it was used, I used a dictation machine or I wrote it down myself.
So if you write it down yourself, do you write down every single word in this report?
Yes, I'm capturing quotes.
How about when you're not capturing quotes? Meaning some of the sentences in here are in quotes and some are not. So do you agree that the ones in quotes are verbatim what she said? That's fair?
Yes,
And the ones that are not in quotes are not verbatim, correct?
correct.
And how long after you see the patient do you make the report? How long does it take to generate this report?
Right after they leave the office or leave my office.
Okay, but isn't it true that sometimes you'll see a patient and maybe a week, a few weeks, a month will go by before you prepare these long 4-page and 10-page reports? Isn't that true? Because they do take a lot of time to prepare, don't they?
Objection, leading, argumentative.
Sustained.
Your second report on August 10, 2018, it's 12 pages long. Who prepared this report? You have somebody outside, like a
Transcriber?
transcriber, do it?
Yeah.
And between you and the dictation and the transcriber, isn't it true that sometimes the details could be lost, meaning there could be errors in the report?
Objection.
That's a possibility, correct?
Objection calls for speculation.
It could be a possibility.
And you've had that in your practice, isn't it true? In your practice, you've had that where there were mistakes and you had to correct them. For example, you make an amended report. Isn't that true? Sometimes you have to do that?
After the report is transcribed,
Yes.
it is reviewed for corrections.
And have you ever done an amended report?
Yes,
If the details of the injury, for example, as I explained you the story about me breaking my finger and my left shoulder and my left knee and my back, If that is not perfect, would you catch that to correct the report? Or is that something that's really physical that even if there's a mistake with that piece, you're not going to go back and correct it because your sole goal is to treat her for psychological
Are you
treatment,
testifying?
correct?
Objection, argument, lack of foundation.
Assisting.
Have you ever gone back and corrected a report when there was an error about physical injury? Do you ever remember doing that?
Cannot recall.
But you've done it for psychological injuries, correct?
Objection,
Over.
I've done it for all that's included in the report, whether that's emotional
Is your witness or not?
or the general testing results,
Sorry, Jen, the next one?
or the testing results. Sure.
Can you just
And
talk in the mic?
just so we're clear, Miss Emani Ellis came to you for psychological injuries
Yes.
only.
objection mischaracterizes the evidence and also lacks foundation.
Overruled.
Here's
Yes.
And that does not include physical injury, correct?
She was seen for psychological injury.
So if she also broke her teeth, would that be important for your psychological treatment of the patient?
Not for the treatment.
So when someone has a physical injury, do you refer them out to a medical doctor if they don't have one?
If they don't have one, we refer them back to their attorney.
So the attorney is the one that refers them out.
Correct.
Are you aware that Miss Ellis saw a plastic surgeon, Dr. Scher, in 2018,
objection, lacks.
somewhere around the time when she saw you?
Assisting.
Did you review any medical records from a Dr. John Scher in this case?
I cannot recall.
Did you review any medical records from Dr. Avila for any psychological treatment in this case?
Objection.
Why don't you just ask her what records she did review?
What records did you review? Do you remember?
I do not.
And you don't have your medical file with you because you no longer work for that company, correct?
Correct.
And you have no way to get those medical records, correct?
Correct.
Why didn't you reach out to Manage Med Inc. to get your medical records for this patient when you knew you had to testify here?
Objection, lacks foundation.
Is there a reason why you never got the medical records from Manage Med Inc.?
Objection.
Assisting. I don't think that's an issue in this trial.
You need to ask, did you reach out to get medical records?
All right, I just want to ask you what you did review, because I have the records. If you can look in your exhibit book,
Did you reach out?
1-004.
Or no?
You have that?
I do.
Have you ever seen that document before?
No.
Your Honor, objection.
You're gonna go through all the medical records?
There's only three, Your Honor, just three.
Ma'am, do you remember reviewing any medical records?
I do not.
Okay, she doesn't remember reviewing any medical records.
Your Honor, I was going to see if I could refresh your recollection with you. Just one more, if I may.
Your Honor, we check, this is a table that counsel prepared, it's not an exhibit.
I'll withdraw this question. I'll go to the next one, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. If you could go to Exhibit 3. Did you review any sorry, I withdraw that. Did you review any psychological records from Premier Forensic Psychology from Dr. Alex Avila?
Objection, Your Honor, motion eliminated, and the ruling on the motion eliminated, relevant lack of foundation.
Assisting.
Did you review any records from, well, straight then. Let's have you go to Exhibit 4. Do you see that?
Yes.
Did you review any of these records from plastic surgeon Brett Mulliken?
Objection, Your Honor, lacks foundation.
Over.
I do not recall.
Okay, and if you look at the HPI, which is the history,
We're not going to read from a document.
I will not read from the document. I just wanted the doctor to read the paragraph. If you read those 4 lines, does that help you refresh your recollection about anything Emani Ellis told you when she saw you in 2018 and 2019?
Not really.
For the history of the incident.
Yeah, don't read from the document, just read it to yourself. And if you just answer my question, in reading these 4 lines, does that help refresh your recollection about anything Emani Ellis told you when you did treat her in 2018 and 2019?
Yes.
And why does it refresh your recollection? Without reading from the document, did it do for you now, here, right now?
Well, it lists the date of entry, which was in the previous report I reviewed.
Okay. Anything else?
And just one of the details.
Okay. Without reading from the report, what detail?
I think I recall something about fingernails.
What about fingernails?
It's the same.
Okay. And then finally, I just ask you this question.
The fine of it, just-
I just want to know about the billing. Do you have any way to know if the bill of $5,087 was ever paid by anyone?
I do not.
Okay, no further questions. Thank you.
All right, Cross.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Doctor. Okay, so I'm going to try to not overlap with counsel's questions, but I do have questions about some of the exhibits that he showed you. And first of all, just to be clear, you saw the plaintiff in April of 2018 because she had made a workers' compensation claim, correct?
Objection, this states the testimony of the witness.
Overall.
Correct.
Okay, so I'm going to ask, I'm going to make it easier, I'm going to use our exhibits. And I should also say, counsel was right, we subpoenaed you too. We appreciate you showing up. The court has authorized us to ask our questions of you so that you don't have to come back the second day. Thank the court. I agree though, but thank the court, so I'll take it too. So I have some of the same documents, but with the different exhibit numbers, and we can display them. And the first one is, I would ask, counsel, we're going to use exhibit 206, which is the equivalent to one of the portion of her, so that you were showing her. Is there a way to make that a little bit more visible to people?
Your Honor, I would object to showing the document because she doesn't have her medical file, and it's a hearsay document that was prepared by Management Inc., and I was not provided the opportunity to show it to her.
I don't remember you asking, but do you object to it being published
Yes.
based on hearsay ground?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's the same.
I'm sorry, based on,
Hearsay ground?
it's the, what I'm,
Can you take it off the Elmo service? That's not allowed.
what I'm going to focus
Why
on.
don't you take the document down for now?
He's doing that now. What I'm going to focus on are her recording of plaintiff's own statements, which are, of course, plaintiff party admissions.
Your Honor, I wasn't.
He's already questioned her on the same document.
All right, so we're not going to argue it back and forth. You can ask her questions if you want to put the document in front of her and ask her questions about it. That's fine, but we're not going to publish it at this point in time.
Okay. If you could look in the blue book for exhibit 206, it should be tabbed and probably towards the end. Found it?
Yes,
Okay, thank you. Do you recognize this as the same document counsel was showing you?
yes,
And it is also the preliminary psychological evaluation done on April 26, 2018.
yes.
And let's look a little bit closer at the second page that he asked you questions about. Could you read out loud the bold caption on that page?
History of the incident as reported by the patient.
And so everything that is recorded there is what the plaintiff told you in April 2018, correct?
Correct.
And let's look a little bit closer at the verification at the end. So if we go to page, the fourth page, and there's a caption disclosure statement, correct?
Yes.
And can you read out loud the last sentence of the first paragraph?
As to that information, that sentence?
Yes. Okay.
As to that information, I declare under penalty or perjury that the information accurately describes the information provided to me, and accept as noted herein that I believe it to be true.
And is it correct that what you verified under perjury was that you had correctly recorded what the plaintiff told you?
Correct.
Okay. Did you at any point, anywhere in this document, in this verification page or otherwise, verify that what she was telling you was true?
No.
Okay. Now, if we go back to the second page, the first paragraph after history of the incident as reported by the patient, could you read the first three words?
Your Honor, I would object because she's not an expert and also hearsay.
I'm not sure. It's first three words of what?
Of Exhibit 206, where she confirms that she is, the statements that counsel read
Oh,
are the statements of the people. Thank you.
The applicant reports.
Right. And third paragraph, the first three words.
Ms. Ellis reports.
And could you read the last sentence of that after Miss Ellis reports?
Yeah, objection, he's only picking and choosing words that he likes. You should read the whole thing as a whole.
that's please open the speaking objections.
I apologize.
Oh.
Objection for completeness.
It's overruled then?
What paragraph again?
Yeah, the paragraph that begins Miss Ellis reports, I'm only asking you to read the last sentence, full sentence, complete. Don't leave anything out.
Her nails were really long, almost touching the applicant's nails.
Right. Is there, let's go to the second.
Your Honor, for purposes of completeness, I would ask.
What, you can do it, address it on redirect.
Let's go to the third page. Can you read the first full heading in bold on the third page?
Associated physical symptoms.
Right. Is there any mention, well, first of all, is this a portion of the report where you record any physical symptoms that plaintiff reported?
Yes.
And even though this is a psychological report, you in fact, as a matter of practice and in this documented any, would have mentioned any physical symptoms that she had, correct?
Objection calls for expert opinion.
Overruled.
Correct.
Anywhere in that, well, actually, could you read for the jury, please, the complete associated physical symptoms that plaintiff reported to you 2 months after the alleged incident?
Objection, I would ask that counsel can read and not the witness.
Overruled.
Ms. Ellis reports that she experiences headaches at least 4 to 5 times a week that last several hours. She is also sleeping more than she used to.
That's it. No mention of a scar?
Not in this statement.
No mention of any physical injury?
Not in this report.
And you took down this information that's in this report as plaintiff provided it to you, as you put it, at the time that she said it, correct?
Correct.
And you verified at the end, under penalty of perjury, that you had correctly recorded what she said, correct?
Correct.
If you look at the page 2 of this exhibit, 206, and let's go to the fourth paragraph. Do you see the language, it turned into a screaming match?
Same objection, Your Honor, because
Overruled.
Correct.
And that's in quotes, isn't it?
Yes.
And that is what the plaintiff told you, right? She didn't mention any physical symptoms. She just said it turned into a screaming match. Is that correct?
According to the report.
Do you have any reason to doubt that the report is correct or inaccurate?
No.
And in fact, you verified at the time under penalty of perjury that it was correct.
According to what the applicant reported.
Right. And I apologize. Yes, that's an important distinction, that it correctly recorded what plaintiff said, right?
Correct.
You were not verifying that she was telling the truth, were you?
No, typically do not verify unless provided with other reports.
Okay, if I could ask you to go to Exhibit 207, which is the other document that counsel showed you. Do you see it?
Yes.
And do you recognize it? And feel free to thumb through it if you like, as the other portion of his exhibit that he showed you.
Correct.
And that is a initial comprehensive psychological evaluation with associated psychodiagnostic testing. Is that what the label is?
Yes.
And that examination was done on August 10th of 2018.
Yes.
So what, 4 or 5 months later?
Correct.
And if you look at the second page, it's got another history of the incident as reported in preliminary evaluations. You see that?
Correct.
That's the heading.
Yes.
And that's as reported by plaintiff in August of 2018.
Not on August of 2018. It's usually the information that was captured in the preliminary.
Okay, got it. And that also, in the third paragraph, states that Ms. Ellis reports that the celebrity's nails were really long, almost touching the applicant's nose. You see that?
Yeah.
And then on the next page, associated physical symptoms, it still doesn't mention a scar or any physical symptoms, correct?
Correct. It's the same information from the previous report.
And you also, at page 12, verified under penalty of perjury that you had accurately set out what plaintiff told you, right?
Correct.
Okay, let's bear with me for just a second. You actually met with the plaintiff in 2018, correct?
Correct.
And you remember your deposition was taken in this action? You were deposed, you asked questions. I can give you the date if you like.
I was deposed. I just cannot recall the date.
Yeah, I don't either, it's here somewhere. But you did have your deposition taken, correct?
Yes.
And you testified at your deposition that if you had seen any scars or bruising on the plaintiff's face when you met her, you would have noted it, correct?
If that's what I stated.
You said, would you like to see your testimony?
Oh, wow.
Yes.
You would like to see it?
Yes.
Could we,
John, I would object to it because it's not here to.
What's your legal objection?
The purpose of using it is not to impeach the witness, it's simply to reinforce what she's already said. She's already agreed.
Right.
sorry, may I say one quick thing? This is our case in chief.
Why don't you just ask her the same question now?
Okay, fine. Doctor, if Ms. Ellis had shown up for her examination and had a scar or scars or bruising on her face, would you have noted it in your report?
Objection calls for speculation.
Overruled.
If it was indicated on one of the intake forms.
I'm sorry?
If it was indicated on one of the intake forms.
If you saw her with bruises and a scar on her face, would you note it in the report?
Objection calls for speculation.
Overruled.
I believe I would on the mental status.
Okay, thank you.
Wow. See, I had to try. You didn't even know you needed to watch.
If we can turn please to Exhibit 222. What is Exhibit 222?
This is a back depression inventory.
I'm sorry.
A back depression inventory. It's a psychological test for emotional symptoms.
Right. And is this a form that is provided to the workers' compensation applicant for the applicant to circle the symptoms they claim?
Yes,
And is this the form that plaintiff filled out on April 26, 2018?
it looks so, yes.
And you identified it at your deposition as the form that she filled out, right?
Correct. I think.
And could you read the, at the end of the first column, 5, question 3, what did she circle there?
5, the guilty feelings.
3, line 3, the very last line. On the first page. So if you look under guilty feelings,
Correct.
and what did she circle?
I feel guilty all the time.
And if you can turn to Exhibit 225. Is this the same type of form?
Correct.
And is this the form that she filled out on January 15, 2019?
Correct.
And what did she circle about guilty feelings at that point?
I feel guilty over many things I have done or should have done.
Sorry, where was that?
I'm sorry?
Where are you reading? I couldn't find it.
Under guilty feelings. If I may, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
I don't know what exhibit you're on.
225. Okay. Bear with you just a second, I want to make sure. Okay, thank you very much. I think that's all the questions I have for you.
That's enough.
All right, redirect.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you very much.
You might just let this go. You are getting mocked in this trial.
Isn't it true that Emani Ellis came to see you for psychological injuries only?
Correct.
You already,
Black Foundation, Foster.
Overruled.
You can answer.
Correct.
Did Miss Emani Ellis come to you for physical injuries?
She did not.
Did Miss Emani Ellis come to you for plastic surgery?
She did not.
Are you a plastic surgeon?
I am not.
Any reason for you to note that there was a scar there or was not there when you saw her in April of 2018?
I'm not sure how to answer that. Any reason for me to note it? No particular reason.
And the question that counsel asked you about guilty, this exhibit 222, guilty feelings. I feel guilty all the time. Does that mean that she's guilty of something?
Objection, Black Foundation.
It's the same.
And then in 225, I feel guilty over many things I have done or should have done. What does that mean?
Objection, hearsay, Black
It's
Foundation.
the same.
What is the purpose of guilty feelings? What is this all about? Why do you have this in here?
The overall measurement is to capture symptoms related to depression. And so it asks about different symptoms that would meet the criteria for depression, like sadness, loss of pleasure, guilty feelings.
Can someone have psychological problems and have guilty feelings at the same time?
Objection, expert testimony.
Sustained.
Isn't it true that no matter which one of the four were circled, it wouldn't have mattered for the diagnosis of this patient, correct?
Sustained. We're going to stay away from expert testimony.
When you have number 5 here, guilty feelings, does that mean they're guilty of a crime or something? What does guilty feelings mean?
Objection,
Sustained.
Can you explain to us what guilty is?
Counsel, you need to move on.
One question about this guilty issue. When you have this here that says guilty feelings, does it mean that Emani Ellis is guilty of the incident, or is it guilty feelings about psychological issues?
objection, and
Sustained.
Isn't it true that if a patient is coming to you for psychological injuries, they're not going to tell you about all of their physical injuries? For example, if she has a dental complaint, she's not going to tell you about her dental complaints, even if it's related to the incident.
objection,
That's possible, correct?
calls for speculation, lack of foundation, outside.
Overruled.
You can answer.
When the patients were referred for psychological treatment, they filled out a claim form. If the attorney on that claim form only put that we were to focus on the site, then that's what we focused on.
So it was the attorney, it was her attorney who decided what was going to be on the claim form. Is that your testimony?
I believe so.
And if the attorney put in physical complaints, do you think that an attorney would send that to you, or would an attorney send it to a medical doctor? If you know. If you,
Calls for speculation, lack of foundation.
Sustained.
okay, and then I want to go back to what counsel was talking about in the report where you read from. Exhibit 206, do you remember that one? Exhibit 206, page 2 of 4. Do you see that, Doctor?
Yes.
So counsel asked you about paragraph 3, and he read you the last sentence, or you read it. Her nails were really long, almost touching the applicant's nose. Do you remember when he asked you about that sentence?
Yes.
The sentence before it, I want to focus on that for completeness. It states, individual then proceeded to put her finger in applicant's face.
Who want a black
see that?
Tammy?
Yes.
Which one of y'all want a black Tammy? She
Does
got
that
black.
mean there was contact,
Tammy
or
got a
are
black.
you not sure?
Objection,
Do you know, I'll withdraw the question. Do you know if that sentence, the one I just read, has any connection with physical contact,
objection,
or you don't know?
objection, comments.
Overruled.
Do I know if the sentence you asked me to read has any indication of physical contact?
Yes.
Not that sentence.
Is there other sentences that do, that you can remember right now,
No.
from all these 23 pages?
No,
And you didn't read all the 23 pages, did you?
I did not.
And you, as you sat there for the last hour, hour and a half, it would be impossible to do that. You'd want to spend at least an hour to review all pages, correct?
Your Honor, objection.
Sustained.
Is spitting on someone considered an assault and battery for your treatment of the
Sustain.
patient?
Object.
Move on, counsel.
Look, it's like this thing. If you don't sit down,
And in the next sentence, it says, Miss Ellis states that she tried to explain that she was not speaking to anyone regarding seeing the celebrity, yet the individual then spat on her. Is there a reason why you wrote this in your report?
Objection, Your Honor.
Overruled.
Just capturing the incident as reported.
And when the patient told you that she was spit on, did you believe her?
Objection.
Sustain.
Would you agree that spitting on a person is considered physical contact?
Objection.
Sustain.
why are you asking these questions?
And then if we can go to the 7th paragraph. Once in the lobby area, the celebrity's security guard approached. The applicant explained the situation and the security guard reportedly apologized. Do you know why the security guard of the defendant apologized to Miss Emani Ellis?
Objection, argumentative.
Sustain. Counsel, let's focus on what she knows.
Did Emani Ellis tell you, after me reading that sentence to you and you reading it for yourself, did Emani Ellis tell you that the security guard for the defendant apologized?
According to the report, yes.
Yes? Do you know what she apologized? I'm sorry. Do you know why he apologized?
Objection, false or speculation, lacks foundation.
Sustain.
No further questions. Thank you.
All right,
Thank
recall.
you.
Yes, Your Honor. Briefly. Your Honor,
I'm going to take.
What's that? New pen for juror number 5, please. We're gonna have to rewrite the budget for pens and paper.
may I proceed?
Please.
Dr. Counsel had referring to if he had shown up with a broken finger, broken back, broken other body parts. Let me ask you, if plaintiff had shown up with physical injuries,
Objection, Your Honor, this exceeds the scope of my.
Overruled.
if plaintiff had shown up with scarring and bruises or broken back, even if she came for a psychological evaluation, would you have noted it?
If she reported it, yeah.
Okay. And everything in the report, all the factual assertions, for example, at page 2 of those 2 exhibits, those are what plaintiff told you, and you do not know whether in fact she was telling the truth, correct?
Objection calls for speculation.
Overruled.
I did not receive any depositions or other supporting documents to counter what she was reporting.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, I should separate that. First of all, everything that we've been talking about on page 2, that's just what plaintiff told you, right?
Correct.
And you don't know if that's true, right? You don't, I'm sorry, you don't know if what she told you is true.
Right, I don't know.
Okay.
I wasn't there.
That's all the questions I had.
All right. Any questions from the jury?
No, please, no. Oh, the jury got questions. listen, Margaret, people get real froggy up in here. Let them leap on out of here, okay? Don't let them disrespect you. Don't let them cuss anybody out. Go off on this platform. We value opinions, but you're not going to be disrespectful. There are plenty of platforms that you can do all the shenanigans on, but this is not the platform for that. Respect my space like you think that the lady didn't, that Cardi didn't respect hers. Okay? Thank you so much. Yes, the jury gets to ask questions. They get to write notes. It's up to the discretion of the court. Doesn't happen in every case, but they'll give the jury notepads. They take notes and they can ask questions. So we can kind of see what the jury is thinking by their questions. They've done it during criminal trials as well. It's all up to the discretion of the court. Some courts don't allow jurors to have notebooks. They want them to pay attention. So it all depends. Well, he's objecting to it because you have to present your case in a legal manner. We have rules of evidence on how you can enter in testimony. And so if it's hearsay, you cannot enter in unless there's an exception. You have to have a foundation. You cannot speculate with what you know
All right, Doctor,
as
I'm
a person.
going to ask you a couple questions. They're a little bit overlapping, but I'll go ahead and ask them. If a physical injury is not reported to you, is there any reason you would still take a note of it?
Do I just answer yes or no, or
You can
explain?
explain.
From what I recall, when individuals were referred for treatment, they were asked to fill out paperwork. On that paperwork, they were asked to document if they had physical injuries or physical pain symptoms. In those situations, I would review it and include those in the report.
So the court's going to ask some follow-up. So when the patient is coming in, they provide their responses to questions relating to their history and physical, correct?
Correct.
And so they would note any physical symptoms, whether or not they related to the reason for their visit.
Correct.
All right. And that's all part of the form?
Correct.
Was it your practice that if the psychological trauma was caused by a physical injury, that you would note that on your chart?
That's a good question.
Yes.
Do you recall actually seeing any marks on plaintiff's nose or cheek?
I do not recall.
All right. Any follow-ups from counsel regarding those questions?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
You earlier testified about the attorney filling out this form, and it's the attorney who actually puts on what the patient is coming to see for, correct?
Objection, ambiguous, what form?
The form we just spoke about.
Overall.
Correct.
Do you have the form?
I do not.
Where is the form?
With the psychological corporation.
Right. So we really don't know what the form says at all, correct?
I do not.
So when the court asks you this question, you're not sure what relates to this case. It's a general response to the form as any patients, correct?
Like I said, I cannot recall.
And the question about, we'll strike that. Just want to ask you, the form that you're talking about that's filled out by the attorney, do you,
The claim form is filled out by the
the
attorney.
claim form, this form that is at issue now, would an attorney ever put physical injury so that you would then treat the patient for physical injury, or every time you get the form, it's really psychological?
Objection.
I withdraw the question. I have no further questions.
All right.
Thank you.
Another thing?
Yes, Your Honor, just,
Oh, Lord.
one of the questions, I believe you answered, that if a claimant comes in and a report of physical injury, that's included in whatever documents that the company generates. And you noted in your psychological report, is that correct?
Yes.
And so can we conclude from the fact that there is no reference to scars or other physical injury in your preliminary report, that when plaintiff first claimed, plaintiff or her counsel at the time, first claimed, made a workers' compensation claim, they did not report any physical injury?
Objection calls for speculation.
Overruled.
I cannot recall.
Well, it's a matter of practice.
Well,
Objection
matter of
after that.
practice.
If they had claimed a physical injury, that would have been reported to you, and you would have included it in your preliminary report, correct?
Objection calls for speculation.
Overruled.
Did we get the answer?
No.
I would have noted it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very
Your Honor,
much.
there's one follow-up I forgot.
Oh, God.
Briefly.
Yeah, briefly, thank you very much, Your Honor. There was a question the court asked you. If Emani Ellis came in 2 months after, so you saw her 2 months after, and you saw a 2-centimeter scar on her face, well, how do you know today if you really saw it or you didn't see it? Isn't it true that you don't know? It might have been there and it might have not been there. Is that fair?
Objection, argument is speculation.
All right. Can this witness be released?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, folks. Why don't we take a break until 3:15? As
Oh,
usual, do not discuss the case with anyone, including other jurors. Don't form any opinions or do any research. We'll see you at 3:15.
I need a break. Oh, sure. That was some boring stuff right there. But my God, today. So it sounds like this is what is bothering me about this trial on the plaintiff's end. And I'm a plaintiff's attorney when it comes to lawsuits such as this, civilly. What is bothering me is you really don't have, so far, it sounds like they're trying to get in that she was injured through other people, like the causation through other people. I can pretty much, I know exactly where Miss Ellis's attorney is going. Like, it's very predictable. I knew that clearly it must have been a form of which she never put the injuries down, these alleged injuries, when she went to go see the workers' comp, because he wants her to be there as providing support of her psychological damage. But how does that matter if it's not related to this incident? So if you come in for workers' comp purposes, you don't mention I had a scar and I have what did the plastic surgeon mentioned, the touch, the pain, and the sensitivity. You're not saying the pain, the scars are embarrassing me that's on my face, this scratch that won't go away, whatever. Like, it's so many things psychologically that could have been on that form to try to connect it together. And it seems like they don't really have that. Then you get this what is her name? Shoot, what is this lady's name? Miss Nicole McKenzie. You get on the stand and she looks like she's just not confident. She's not sure. She don't even know why they called her. She's like, I don't work there no more. Why are you interrupting my days of our lives? Or what? That's how she's looking. Now, to be clear, it's almost like the attorney's like, you were subpoenaed here, right? I guess they use the subpoena when people seem like they're not very helpful or they don't want to be there.
Heck, almost everybody is subpoenaed. You do it just in case, because if they choose not to show up, you want to be able to say we need a detainer on this person, or they didn't show up, or whatever that you're going to try to do because they violated the subpoena. She just said this was just boring today. I don't know what is going on with this case. I seen somebody make a comment of she may lose this one, but she's gonna lose the next one. Do you know it was people that were saying she was gonna win this one before any of the facts came out? Those are the same people now that are changing their mind. So until we know the facts about that Mike case, she has not been found liable. And you guys see how some of these cases go. People said the same thing about Diddy. They said he was cooked. And then what happened? So hopefully the public is realizing this is a different day and age. Before, we would rely on CNN, NBC, MSNBC. We will rely on them. Now you have people streaming on YouTube and YouTubers and other journalists. The journalists were always, they had investigative journalists for years, but they would mainly write for your news networks, or they would write for articles. So we didn't really, and that was what we got from our information. Now we get to watch this stuff ourselves, and this is not uncommon. We get to watch this. So what if a lot of these cases against Cardi B are similar to how this seems to be coming out, like it's unraveling? Like, what if that is one of the reasons why she wanted to go ahead and try this case, so people can see, listen, it ain't always me. Sometimes it may be them. We don't know. So why don't we sit back, hold tight, and see what facts come out with this Mike case? I don't even think Cardi was served yet for that lawsuit. But yeah. Then the AG put in her lawsuit. Diddy was on trial for trafficking children as young as 10 years old and released the lawsuit. I hope his attorney sees that. Oh, did she? And what lawsuit? I think you mentioned that earlier. I have to look at it and see what you're talking about. Val, I had to have I know you were busy, but Val, I don't have to worry about telling anybody to block people, time them out, or any of that, because my sister is going to do that, because she harsh, okay? But it was people in here going, like, you not going to talk about black people, women being miserable. Y'all just pro Cardi B because you don't love yourself and all that stupidity. Go someplace else with that. Go on your burning bras and all that. Go to another platform. Like, it's fine. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and you're not mine. So just like you don't have to watch me, I don't have to listen to what you have to say in my chat. So that's what it is. So yeah, I had to tell them, like, I'm not that person. The people that are supposed to be over here, and that might be me. Sometimes you got to help people to know they're going to still watch. You can't stop people from watching, but you can stop people from saying something in your comments. That you can do. You was getting Hey, I am Sassy. She said, I found your page yesterday. I'm enjoying this a lot. Glad I found you and subscribed. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, y'all be acting scared over here. We not scared to put you in the corner. Some people need to go to the corner, and some people need to get kicked out the country. You can pick. You guys have, I don't micromanage. Okay. I don't micromanage the chat. Now, if somebody feels like they was blocked unfairly, usually they gonna send me a long email anyway, and then we figure it out. But for now, use your discretion. All right. If you see my block list, you would look like, because they do look like, you can look and see all the people you blocked from your channel. And then, like, I've even had people, they just keep making new pages, and they'll tell me, I don't care how many times you block me, I'm going to make a new page. How weird are you? What type of goofy are you that you spend your time creating Gmail accounts so that you can talk to me in my comments because I blocked you, but you don't care. You don't like my platform. You don't like how it's run over here. You don't like the commentary, but yet you take the time out to create 50 YouTube pages so you can get your comment across because I blocked you. There has to be a diagnosis for that because that can't be normal. I hate you so much that I'm telling you, I don't care how many times you block me, I'm just going to make another page. And yes, I have literally had people tell me that. And I said, and every time you make a page, I'm going to block you. So we can just keep doing this. I got nothing but time. We can do this back and forth, back, because I actually talk to the people in my comments. So we can do this back and forth all day till you get tired, because I'm not going to get tired. It's so many times I'm on Zoom waiting on judges and don't have anything to do but to sit there in that waiting room and start blocking people. Block, 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 block. Nothing but time. Delirious. Not everybody's coming with a diagnosis. If you guys would be so kind and make sure you hit the like. Welcome all the new subscribers. We do have a lot of new subscribers, so you guys are subscribing to the channel. I appreciate that. I also have an Instagram. Mainly, I try to post little clips if I'm about to come on here for those that don't get notifications. Or lately I've been posting little clips like about my clients, like in real life, because I do wrongful convictions. So if you guys want to mosey over there to Instagram, it's pam.esq. I am the same name over on the TikTok. Never been live over there before, but I may start trying to do that every now and then. Queen Shadina said it's giving stalker. It's giving I ain't the one or the two, so they better go find something else to do. Harold said they say keep your enemies close. If that ain't love, that's true love. Listen. If that's love, I don't want it. I'm okay. Because you can have your opinion. I think, and this is I'm not trying to be offensive to anyone, but so if you are, I'm sorry. But a lot of times people call names because they really don't have arguments. Like you give your opinion about something and you have authority to support your stance or your opinion, and then they want to do things like, but you ugly, you hate yourself, you don't love your blackness, because you don't really have any authority for the ridiculousness that is coming out of your mouth. And so you get mad at me because you should have been prepared to have a real conversation. If you're going to make a statement, I'm going to respond with authority. That's all I'm saying. No authority, no facts, just making up stuff as you go. And like I said, I can respect when somebody just say, I don't like this person. I can respect that. But when you try to make it seem like you have some intellectual reason for your conclusory analysis, I'm going to call you out. That's just what it is. Let's see. You said those are kids because Shirley and Adele had enough vocabulary. And they called me out my name. After a while, I was, I guess they got off while I wasn't a real lawyer. I think they just was like, okay, forget it. I think one day I just put up one of the articles when my case was in the paper and it had my name. I was like, yeah, this is me. This just happened last week. And then I think they kind of got off of that. But that was the first thing. I'm like, you're not affecting me. You're having a bar. I'm so bored with this. I'm tired. But you gotta also remember, like I did 3 hearings this morning before I came on. That's why I was rushing. So I wanted some fireworks. I wanted somebody to get on like my dude Sean Kelly did in the Tory Lanez case, where he got on there randomly with his accent, his European accent. He got on there. No, maybe it was British. What was he from? He was from someplace. Anyway, he gets on there and he was like, yes. And I seen the short one. The short one had something in his hand. And then he had an object in the air. And then I saw sparks. We was like, what? Did he just put the gun in this man's hand? Like, what is happening right now? Like, the defense called someone who put the weapon in their client's hand? What is it? It was them, or like Kelsey getting on there. I don't know. I lied. I didn't say that. I didn't mean it. I lied. Everything was so dramatic in that trial, okay? It kept you on the edge of your seat. You were just waiting to see what was going to happen next. We're still looking at the ceiling. But this is just boring. He's trying to prove these damages by reaching from all these spots. So I'm not, if she's there for a workers' comp and she pays $600 for the workers' comp or $5,000 bill, what does that have to do with? Do workers' comp the medical not pay for that type of stuff if you're hurt on a job? So the point, as you guys probably know already, workers' comp is a system put in place. So if you're injured at your job or whatever happened, unless there are a few exceptions, such as intentional tort that happens with like your boss or something bust you in the mouth or something. But for the most part, the purpose of workers' comp that you pay into as an employer is to avoid getting sued. So they cover, they'll give you your money. You got to go to their doctors. So it sounds like if she had an attorney, I'm going to assume maybe she was denied workers' comp. And so maybe the workers' comp attorney was sending her to these places in order to work up the case for her to be able to receive her workers' comp. But I'm not necessarily understanding this connection between making Cardi B pay for I'm assuming she's saying she couldn't work because of this incident. But then I recall she got fired, but then she started working someplace else. I thought that was the testimony. Unless I'm missing something. I thought she got fired there. And then they said she's a social worker now or something, or work for DHS. But she stopped working there and started doing something else. And then she was supposed to go like to be a police officer, but she didn't want to anymore because of this stuff with Cardi B, which, like I said, is minor stuff compared to what these police officers go through every day. They literally leave out the house and everybody's praying that they come home. That's how dangerous that job is to protect and serve. She left criminal justice to go into social work. I didn't know getting in a fight on the job and then fired allowed for you to receive workers' comp. I guess in theory she was injured on the job. But see, it's not like she was trying to put Cardi B out for security purposes. Cardi, I think, still went to her appointment. I don't know that, but my point is they're kind of pulling from wherever they can to try to justify these injuries. That's my point. They're pulling from here, there, and everywhere trying to justify these injuries. So you get the plastic surgeon 2 years later because apparently the other guy that she saw passed away. So now you got to get another person for that. So where is the treating physician? They said it was 100 and something pages of documents where she went to her treating physician and she never even mentioned any of this. That is what you need, is a treating doctor to say she came to me after this incident. I noticed the scratches. I wrote them down. She alleged that she was in a fight. Da 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 da. This is consistent with it as a treating doctor. They were trying to make the plastic surgeon also a treating doctor by saying we have to diagnose her first before we do the plastic surgery. So you see, like it seems like they're using just ways to try to get in and prove this because she didn't have any pictures after the fact. Like, did she take any pictures during that first week? Was she on Instagram, Facebook? Did her and her mama and grandma go anywhere where they might have took a little picture here and there? Like, so you just didn't take no pictures at all in the first 30 days at all? I don't know. I think that's why this attorney is reaching, trying to figure out ways to prove their case. And then he knows what his holes are in the case, so he's trying to get ahead of it by saying things like, you just were treating her for psychological reasons, right? You weren't treating her for her physical injuries. So it doesn't matter what she's there just for psychological injuries. Yeah, but is the psychological injuries connected? Are y'all really connecting this or not? She obviously mentioned it. They said in some records, they did say she mentioned this alleged assault. But because she didn't mention any of the injuries or any of that, he was trying to get ahead of it and say, well, they weren't there to treat the injuries. But what I do know as doing this type of work, typically doctors, psychologists, whoever, they will list even your physical injuries that you have, even if they're not there to treat it. Doctors will say, oh, they're saying they're dizzy or they're having a hard time sleeping, they're having memory issues, so I'm going to send them to a neurologist. So that usually leads to referrals to specialists in that field of where you're alleging you having those issues. So that's why it's important, because you have a plan of care, and in that plan of care, it may include multiple doctors. They may say, your doctor is say, well, your back is injured, your neck is injured, we're going to send you.
Alternate, and does plaintiff have another witness to call?
Yes, plaintiff calls defendant Cardi B as a hostile witness.
Thank you.
Oh, calling Cardi as a hostile witness. That's what I said. They have to call it. So they just want to not do a direct examination. Why does she do that?
Ma'am, may I please have you stand right next to the court reporter? Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly state that the testimony you may give in the cause now pending before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. May I please have you state and spell your first and last name for the record?
My name is Delphine Morales.
May I please have you spell it?
The whole thing?
First, last name, second.
Okay. VELCALMANZAR.
Great, thank you. You may take a seat, please, watch your step.
Okay, thank you.
So he's going to be able to do basically.
Good afternoon, Ms. Almanzar.
Mhm.
Do you prefer I call you Ms. Almanzar, Cardi B, or it doesn't matter?
I mean, y'all can call me Cardi B.
You feeling better today?
Maybe.
And I'll need you to speak up, man.
Yeah,
Hard to hear you.
yeah, a little better.
Your birthday is October 11, 1992.
Yes,
You're left-handed.
yes.
Are you the firstborn child?
To my mom.
Did you take any medication, drugs, or alcohol that would affect your ability to testify today?
No,
On the date of the incident, did you have black hair, blonde hair, or different color hair?
I quite don't remember. I do know I had a hoodie on.
Yesterday you had black hair, short hair. Today it's blonde and long. Which one is your real hair? Or are they both real?
They're wigs.
Over.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know that. It's a good week today then.
That was not my fault.
Do you have any affiliation at this time with a gang?
Objection, Your Honor.
What?
That violates the order.
Assistant Counsel, you go back.
Whoa.
Your fingernails, can you show them to us for all of us to see? How long are those fingernails? Just your best estimate. I don't want you to take a ruler to it, but if you were to give your estimate, is that half an inch, 1 inch, 2
I
inch?
think it has to be less than an inch.
And,
Way less than an inch.
can you show them to us again? All right. Are they pointy?
These are not, to me, are not pointy. They're like circle, oval,
Okay. Are those your real nails or are they fake nails?
fake nails.
If I wanted you to change them to 3-inch nails,
Mhm.
how long would it take for you to do that right now?
Well, it really depends. Like these are like glued on, so they will be a little bit quicker. Sometimes I do acrylic, which could last me on for 2 weeks. I will literally have to take like 2 hours to melt them off if they're acrylically on.
On December 24th, 2018, do you remember going to 8920 Wilshire Boulevard in Beverly Hills?
December?
I'm sorry, February 24th of 2018.
Mhm.
You remember going to 8920 Wilshire Boulevard?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at sir with the yes or no.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Do you know Dr. Aziz Olai, who's in that building?
No,
Do you know Miss Parsi, who's in that building?
no,
Do you know Brianne Soraya, who's in that building?
no.
Who do you know in that building?
Well, at the time, I went to see Dr. Finke. I had an appointment with him that day. So that's who I went to see that day. Do I personally know him? No.
When you went to see him, were you seeing him as a friend or as a patient?
As a patient,
And when you went to see him, it was a Saturday, correct?
yes.
And you filled out an intake form and you signed some other documents that he would be your treating doctor, correct?
No, for that day, yes.
Yeah.
I don't live in LA,
I
so
understand. You came all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, correct?
Jersey and Atlanta.
I understand. So when you went to see Dr. Finke on February 24th of 2018,
Mhm.
When you went to see him, you went to see him as a patient.
Yes.
And you got medical treatment from him, whether it was for 1 minute or an hour or longer, correct?
Mm-hmm.
How much time did
And
you
you need to answer yes or no. ma'am.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Thank you. How long did you spend with the doctor that day?
I'll say about 25 to 30 minutes. Around that time. Not that much.
And when you were there on that date with Dr. Finke,
Mhm.
Did he examine you?
Yes, he examined my baby for a little bit.
And what baby was that? What number?
Number 1.
Oh, that was the first child you ever had.
That's my first child, yes.
And you were 25 years old at the time.
Yes.
You're aware that plaintiff was the same age as you at the time?
No.
Assistant.
That's not relevant.
Besides examination, what did Dr. Finke do for you? That
Assistant. We're not here for her medical care.
Right. You asked about her medical care.
Did you keep Dr. Finke's, well, strike that. Who referred you to Dr. Finke?
I asked somebody to find me like a very like upscale private doctor. So I was like, I need to go to the doctor's like tomorrow. Like I feel so weird. And they were like, we're gonna find somebody. And that's just how it goes.
When you were outside in the hallway, before you entered Dr. Finke's office, did you see this individual, Emani Ellis, in the hallway?
She was waiting for she was right in front. As soon as the door of the elevator opened, she was waiting, I guess, for the elevator. She was going inside the elevator.
And you were coming outside of the elevator?
Yes.
Do you know approximately what time it was when this occurred?
About, I guess, like in the afternoon, 1 o'clock around there. Yeah, 1 something.
Have you ever seen Dr. Finke either before or after February 24th of 2018?
No.
When you went to Dr. Finke's office, your security guard drove you there?
Yes.
And his name is Karan Newton?
He was my security guard. Yes.
Did you have more than one?
It depends, but he was just my main one, yes, at the time.
Did he go up with you to the medical place?
No, I didn't want him to know that I was going to an OBGYN.
You
So,
didn't want your security guard to know that?
no,
Why?
I don't. Well, first, I didn't want people to know that I was pregnant. Second, I was a little like, I don't want a guy that I work with to know I'm going to a vagina doctor.
Okay. Did you trust your security guard?
In certain ways, yes. In certain ways, no. But I don't know. Sometimes you just really don't trust everybody in your business. You don't want everybody in your business.
Do you remember what floor you were on when you exited the elevator?
The 5th floor.
At any time did your security guard come into the building after learning about there being some kind of incident in the building?
He was waiting for me, like, not necessarily like inside. He was like waiting for me, like by the exit, like by the door. Around there, yeah.
Like, do you remember the building?
Yes.
Do you remember?
Well, I kind of remember, but I do know that he was waiting for me by the door.
And you're talking about the lobby area with
Yes.
take the stairs up?
Mm-hmm.
So
The
he was
lobby.
inside the building or right outside?
I don't really recall, but he was like, maybe it wasn't the inside, it wasn't the outside, but he wasn't like in, like deep in. He was like waiting for me by the door. And the door, he had it open for me to come out.
All right. So would you consider that your security guard was with you at the time, whether it was upstairs, downstairs? In your mind, would you agree that your security guard was with you at the building? Is that fair? Was your security guard with you in the lobby of the building at 8920 Wilshire Boulevard on February 24, 2018?
In the lobby, yes, when I was exiting. When I was
But
exiting.
He was in the lobby with you,
In the
right?
lobby. I can't say he was with me because we was leaving. He never went upstairs, so.
Okay. Do you know if your security guard, Karan Newton, spoke with Miss Ellis at any time that day?
He did not tell me he spoke to her at all.
Do you know if he did?
He told me he didn't. So I'm
Did
gonna
you
go with
ask
his
him?
word. No, because I was like, I told him like what happened upstairs. He was like, damn, I should have went upstairs. But he never told me that he spoke or seen her, so I wouldn't know.
You came to this courthouse with another fine gentleman security guard, correct?
Yes.
Objection, relevance.
And when you go to different places with your security guard, if an incident occurs where you're threatened, or you're injured, or anything happens,
Yes.
aren't they supposed to come help you?
Objection, relevance.
What?
Why don't we move on?
You don't have to ask. When the incident occurred, did you call your security guard or send him a text message or do anything to let your security guard who was with you know that something happened where you wanted his help?
Objection, argumentative as to with.
I told him like, yo, you wouldn't even believe what just happened upstairs. He was like, what happened? And I practically told him like, I'll tell you later, like when I leave. I'm like, wait for me. But I told him like, wait for me downstairs, like by the door. And that's what I told him.
If you were in any danger, would you call your security guard or would you call the police or would you call both? Or do nothing? Did you feel that you were in danger on February 24th, 2018 when you were upstairs on the 5th floor?
For like those 50 seconds, yeah. After I went to my appointment and like the argument just passed me, I didn't even mind it anymore. 'Cause
Did your attorney show you a photograph of Dr. Finke to refresh your recollection as to who the doctor was that you saw on that date?
yes.
And you had a different set of attorneys before, in 2022 and 2023. Did they do the same thing?
No, they didn't.
So, do you know what's discovery?
Yes.
What are form interrogatories?
Oh, I don't know what that means.
What is special interrogatory?
I do not know.
What are requests for admissions? You don't know, right? Is that fair? You don't know?
No.
You do know?
No.
Okay. And when your attorney responded to the written discovery on your behalf, did he or she show you the discovery responses? Did they email you a copy of it?
I mean, I will have to see what you're asking me.
I will show it to you. May I approach your honor? To show her the discovery only? Thank you, Your Honor. Yes. I will show it to you. So for identification purposes, it is form interrogatories, set 1 dated September 30th of 2022. That's what it is? Okay, just coming to show you this document. You can take a look at these pages. Did your attorney show you those documents at any time in your life?
I'm not quite sure. I don't think so. No. Whoa.
And I'm going to show you, with the court's permission, the responses, which were drafted and served on January 17th of 2023. May I approach, Your Honor? All right. We'll show you these documents as well.
Trying to catch her up on her responses like they caught him up yesterday. Caught his client up
Do
yesterday.
you ever remember receiving these documents from anyone, whether it was your attorney, the attorney's paralegal, a family member, anybody? Did they ever show you these documents when they responded on your behalf?
This one I saw. This one I saw.
Okay.
You saw that one?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to go over it with you. On the one that you're on the right, if you can look at 12.1. Do you see the question, 12.1? It would be, I believe, on the 6th or 7th page. And it will ask if there are any witnesses to this incident.
Well, can you
There's not a question for you.
point it to me?
I'm sorry?
Point
Show
it
it
to
to you.
me. Yeah. Sure.
Can I approach you on it? All right. It's on page 5, under 12.1.
Mm-hmm.
Your attorney asked you if there were any witnesses to this incident.
Yes.
All right, we're just gonna avoid attorney time to close the conversation.
And relevance, Your Honor, this is a discovery issue that the subject.
Not a discovery issue, Your Honor. I'm asking her question about if there's any witnesses, and it's for impeachment purposes. Okay, and if you look at the response, there's a response there in the 50-page document to your left. May I show it to her, Your Honor?
What?
Sir, can he identify by page and line? I'm not sure
Sure.
what you mean by showing.
I can show it to you first if you'd like.
I just, what do you,
I want her to talk about the response.
all right.
That's. Read the question. May I read the question when I go back to my seat? I'll show you.
It's your direct counsel.
Thank you. So first, I want to ask you if this is your signature on page 47. Is that your signature?
It could be because if it's like by electronic, that's how I sign. Like,
Okay. And the question that I showed you, 12.1, let's say, you want to read it or you want me to read it to you?
you can read it.
State the name, address, and telephone number of each individual who witnessed the incident. This is A, so paragraph A. Or the events occurring immediately before or after the incident.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the question is.
Yes.
As you sit here today, would you, is it your testimony that Dr. Finke is a witness to the incident?
Absolutely.
He is a witness.
Yes. She knows. She was there.
Is Dr. Finke outside speaking with you?
Outside where?
On February 24th, 2018,
Outside like,
in the hall.
yes.
He came out of his office?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Well, there goes that.
And your response in 12.1, this is what you responded with your attorney's assistance. So I won't hold you 100% at fault for it. Question,
Your Honor?
I withdraw, I apologize. The response is, responding party incorporates by reference the preliminary statement and general objections set forth above, subject to and without waiving the foregoing objections. Responding party responds as follows. Responding party may be contacted through defendant's counsel. Emani Ellis may be contacted through plaintiff's counsel. And then it says unknown staff / employees at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, including at least 2 such persons who intervened during the incident. Discovery is continuing. Were you at Cedars-Sinai Hospital or Cedars-Sinai Medical Center when this incident occurred?
No.
Okay.
But to my knowledge, Dr. Finke works also for Cedars-Sinai, but we wasn't for Cedars-Sinai.
Is there any reason why your attorney, or your prior attorney, yes, Your Honor.
We're not gonna say.
What was the point of it?
And at the time when you saw Dr. Finke, you knew his name at that time, correct?
I didn't know his name. And for a while, when I was getting asked by lawyers like his name and like the receptionist's name, I didn't know it because I saw him one time. So I kind of like just forgot about him.
But when your attorney asked you for the name for purposes of trial, then you did remember the name.
I didn't remember the name. I told him there was two witnesses, the receptionist and the doctor. I told him it was a doctor. My doctor came out at the time, the guy that checked me, and the receptionist. She knows. She was there. He was there.
No.
The painter. She knows.
How do you know she knows?
Because that's who separated. That's who separated and got in between us while we was verbally arguing.
Who got in between you?
The female receptionist, she came out first and she started like telling her, like, "Your security, what are you doing?" And then that's when the doctor came out. He was like, "Go to my office." And that's when I just walked away, and that was the last of it.
Okay, and in 12.1 question, 12.1 subparagraph D. State the name, address, and telephone number of each individual who you or anyone acting on your behalf claim has knowledge of the incident. You just testified that Karan Newton was downstairs in the lobby on the day of the incident. You also testified that you told him different things about the incident. What is the reason, this is the question, what is the reason you did not disclose Karan Newton's name in discovery?
Because he wasn't upstairs.
And wait for the question.
Person mischaracterizes the testimony, it's compound, it's irrelevant to the merits of the case.
Sustained.
In written discovery, were you asked to provide the name of your security guard?
Your Honor,
Yeah, but why don't we, I don't know what you're trying to impeach her on, because she hasn't testified to anything. You're saying it's impeachment, but you're not impeaching anything.
Did you respond to special interrogatory set 1 through your attorney?
Your Honor,
All right, the court's going to sustain its own 352 but actually punch you wrong.
Do you consider Karan Newton to be a witness in this case? Okay?
No,
Sustained. Counsel, I need you to move on. This case isn't about discovery. You might want to move on to what it is about.
Is Tierra Malcolm a witness to this case?
Counsel, please.
Do you know who the witnesses are?
All right, we're going to take a break, folks. Why don't we take a 10-minute break? We'll
About to
resume
go
at
off on
3:55. In the meantime, please do not discuss the case with anyone, including other jurors. Don't form any opinions or do any research.
We're just about to let him have it.
Wow. One of the things when they kept saying that she was going to testify, I said, well, the only way she would testify is if he calls her as an adversarial witness. But why would he do that? And that's what he did. He called her as an adversarial witness, as a hostile witness. That's another way to say it. And I'm not picking up what you putting down, counsel. Like, what are we doing right here?
Counsel, let's define what we mean as impeachment. Impeachment is she says something and you've got evidence that she said something else.
Right.
She said, I didn't know anybody's name. I got sent there. I was seen for a short amount of time. I didn't remember what their names were.
Okay, so-
And now then you're saying, here's this document that says you don't know what their names were.
Okay, so maybe I'm
So-
going about it the wrong way, that's why.
You absolutely are. You're not listening to the court's direction when I'm asking you to move on.
I'm sorry, I'm not doing it intentionally.
It seems like you are.
I really am not. I understand the court's issues, but I want to explain if I may.
Go ahead.
So I was going to ask her if she believes that Karan Newton is a witness in this.
He wasn't there. He was in the lobby.
Right, but 12.1 subsection D talks about witnesses that have knowledge about this case.
What knowledge does he have? He was in the lobby.
I was going to ask her, she spoke to him about it. That's what D is all
So,
about.
okay, so he was a hearsay witness. But
Right.
She told him something.
Well, he's a witness.
Okay.
Also, in special,
So here's the other issue. You didn't depose her. If you wanted to ask these questions, you could have taken her deposition.
I understand the issue with that. But there is a special interrogatory number 15, which is on point, which asks a disclosure of the security guard. She
Okay.
didn't disclose his name, but she knows his name.
Okay.
So
So what are we going to do with that?
we're going to have the jury know that she didn't give the name of her security guard.
And so in order to be admissible, it has to be relevant. In order to be relevant, it has to be probative.
Yeah.
So it's got to be more likely to show, prove, or disprove a material fact in the case. None of this has anything to do with any material fact.
Let me explain. Her testimony, Your Honor, is that Karan Newton doesn't know anything about this case.
She
However,
doesn't say that. She hasn't said that. She said he was in the lobby.
even better, plaintiff has testified that she has spoken with Karan Newton.
Okay.
It's in the medical records.
Okay.
He's a witness in some form or
So
fashion.
the appropriate means for you to do that is one, to file a motion to compel, or number two, seek evidentiary sanctions, which would have been handled pre-trial. But we're not going to have this witness testifying in trial in front of a jury about discovery issues.
That's fine. The issue is, if it asked her to provide the name of the security guard and she didn't disclose it, why is it not fair? These are under penalty.
Then you file a motion to compel, or a motion for evidentiary sanctions. You did neither.
She testified in her discovery that she was alone. Today, she testified she was with Karan. I want to ask her about that.
You already did.
I didn't show her the discovery, which is on point on that issue, Your Honor.
You're going to impeach her with the document saying that she was alone when she was alone in the elevator and the incident happened. That's your impeachment?
My impeachment is she did not reveal that she was with the security guard in the lobby, didn't do anything to provide his information. When the other side,
Again, it's a discovery issue, so we're not going to do that.
Your Honor, the other side was able to impeach plaintiff
With what?
with this discovery. They went into it.
I told you
She
he was
offered
trying to do what
inconsistent
they did.
statements in discovery.
That's what's happening here too.
No, she hasn't said anything inconsistent. She said she didn't know the person's name.
She knew
In
Karan.
discovery, she said she didn't know the person's name.
She knew Karan Newton's information. We asked for the name of the security guard.
All right.
She made it appear.
I'm going to ask you to move on. We're not going to get to further discovery issues.
See, I just raised one point, I don't want the court to overlook. I want to point out, this questioning started with a direct contemptuous violation of the order on the motion to eliminate, excluding any mention of
Gang.
gang affiliation, and that's the first question he asked.
He definitely
Yeah,
did
I
that.
don't expect that there's going to be anything further than that. I mean, you knew what was wrong when you said it.
No, I didn't.
You didn't know that there was a specific motion in limine excluding.
The motion limiting, Your Honor, is prior to that act.
Nope. You might want to look at your trial binder to see specifically what it says. All right. All right. We'll resume in 5 minutes.
He is stressing the judge out.
That was bad. That was really, really bad. So anyways, as you guys see, I told you, I said, you guys, he's trying to do what was done to him yesterday because they were able to show the testimony of his client and they compared it to what she said in her interrogatories And so that's what he's trying to do. The problem is she's not saying anything different. Impeachment means that you testified to something, and now I'm going to show that this is different than what you said under oath in another occasion. So I'll use your deposition transcript. Well, in your deposition transcript, you said that nobody was even at the facility. Now you're saying that your driver was there, or whatever you're coming up with. It has to be some form of inconsistency. Cardi B never had any real inconsistency. She came in there. She said she really didn't have anybody going there with her. She was on the elevator by herself. The lady was by the elevator. She was security by the elevator when everything happened. The doctor came out, heard all of the commotion, and was like, "You're supposed to be security," or whatever the doctor said, broke it up and had her come in there. And then she said the doctor was there, and she knows it. And the thing is, you guys, people can say they don't like, somebody in the chat says she's not a good witness. I don't agree with that. I think that she doesn't look like she's fabricating or making anything up. She's literally being who she is. As she's not getting on there. Just like how she said, like, why would I have someone go with me to go see the vagina doctor? Like, that is Cardi B. She is being who she is. And she just was like, she kept saying she knows it. You know, it was just an argument. It happened. We went in there or whatever. And that was it. And then I told my security to meet me downstairs and at the door because of what happened. And that's when he said, well, I should have went up there with you. So it wasn't anybody that was there. She did say she told him about it. But again, that's hearsay. Unless there was an exception, such as Cardi B told him, listen, it's a chick out there and she tried to fight me, so I need you to come up. So then he comes up and then he testifies and they say, well, what made you come up? Well, she told me, and they would object, and you would say, well, there's an exception as to his mental impression or his state of mind as to why he came up. So you could have an exception. I came up because I was told. I'm not using it for the truth of the matter asserted. I'm using it to show why he actually came up in the first place if he would have came up. Otherwise, she didn't tell him about what happened until they went and got in the car. If it was something like he took her to the police station, then maybe it would be relevant. But him just telling the story is, her telling him the story is just like him telling us the story. Like, it's no different. If Cardi would have called one of us and said, girl, Pam, you won't believe what happened, they're not going to call me as a witness. All I'm going to say is what she told me, which is hearsay. And it seems like he needs to just go back to the books on impeachment, on his rules of evidence. My girl Ike teaches that in law school. She a beast at that. You know, with some people up here on this here internet that'll teach you some rules of evidence. But yeah, you said that was a very informative exchange between the judge and the plaintiff's attorney. Yeah, it was basically, he was telling him like what part he did. The thing is, you don't want to taint the jury. You don't want to chastise the lawyer in front of the jury. You don't want, they don't want speaking objections, which is, you say objection, relevance, hearsay, that's it. They don't want you to say object. Like what he's doing is, Your Honor, nothing is in the record that's it. And he's like, can I get a legal objection? That's not a legal objection. You're basically just talking. That is a speaking objection, of which is prohibited, because you're trying to get your point across in front of a jury to make it seem like what you're saying is what it is. And you can be saying anything. So to avoid that, you just say objection, hearsay, objection, relevance, objection, foundation, objection, speculation. You go through whatever the hearsay is, and the judge is learned enough. He is your referee. He is your referee of this entire situation, because the fact finder is the jury. They're going to be the ones to make the final decision, and they're going to say the judge knows the rules and he knows, and he's like teaching him almost on the way. He's literally teaching him, well, maybe you should rephrase it in this manner and it would comport to the rules. And then for him to say, okay, we're going to take a break, jurors. You just go out for a minute. I know you need a break. What are you doing, sir? That is not impeachment evidence. That's not how you impeach somebody. So it's actually a bit embarrassing seeing that it's being streamed, but maybe they just don't think too many people are watching. I don't know. Angel says she's appearing confused and honest. The lawyer appears argumentative. So when you call a hostile witness, it's almost presumed that they're going to be combative. That's the point. So he's not even he's doing open-ended questions. That he's giving direct the beauty of being able to call someone adversarially is because you get to cross it, you get to go and you get to do leading questions. You don't have to do open-ended questions like you're supposed to do on direct. So if you get up there, you're supposed to be able to say, you so-and-so and so-and-so, correct? He was doing more leading questions on his own client than he was on Cardi B. He was, how are you? How many kids is this? Do you recall going on so-and-so and such and such? And did you go in the hallway? Like all of his questions just seem to be open-ended. You call them like that because you assume because they're on the other side, they're going to be a bit combative. I don't understand why he's calling her as
All right, welcome back,
an
everyone. We're back on
adversary
the record in
witness.
the Ellis matter. Counselor parties are present, as are the members of our jury and our alternate. Ms. Almanzar is on the stand. Ma'am, you're reminded you're still under oath? Yes. All right. And counsel, you want to resume your questioning?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. Aside from Karan Newton, is there anybody else who drove with you to the building on February 24th of 2018?
No.
So now I want to take you a little bit through the incident. Bring you back in time. Do you agree that an incident occurred on February 24th, 2018?
It was a verbal incident. Verbal.
But it was an incident, correct?
Objection, relevance, ambiguous.
Oh,
I don't
Yeah.
I personally feel like if there's no physical touch, there is no incident. There was a verbal altercation. If you think that that's an incident, a verbal altercation, then it's an incident for you. But we both have different opinions. It's a verbal altercation. She didn't hit me, I didn't hit her. There was no touch. So to me, it wasn't no incident.
Was there spitting?
Absolutely not.
Did you spit on Miss Ellis?
No,
Did you call her the N-word?
no.
What is your background? Are you Hispanic, white, something else?
Objection,
My background?
Yes.
Well,
what's the objection?
of relevance. And
Sustain.
Would you consider yourself African American?
I consider myself Afro-Caribbean.
Now, you need to give your attorney a second to object. What's your
Oh,
question?
so
sorry. Relevance, yeah.
Sustain.
Have you ever used the N-word with Miss Emani Ellis?
no,
Did you try to take a swing at her?
no,
When you say there was a verbal altercation,
yes.
do you know what the word altercation means?
Like a conflict.
Like a fight, right?
It was like a verbal fight, but it didn't get physical at all.
When I'm talking to you now, are we having a verbal altercation?
We having, we'll say, a debate.
And we're debating about whether you assaulted and battered Miss Emani Ellis, correct?
Just no, but I guess so. But I didn't touch her. She didn't touch me. So
What proof do you have that you didn't touch her?
Objection, relevance, and also,
That's all you got to sustain.
Do you have any videos of the incident?
no.
Did you try to get videos of it?
I asked if there was videos. Like I told my lawyers to check if there was videos, but there's no cameras. I guess there was no cameras.
And when did you ask for that? What year?
I feel like when I got sued, I was like, when I got sued, I was like, oh, I know I didn't touch her. Like it's like look for the cameras because they'll tell you I ain't touching her.
When you went to the building of 8920 Wilshire Boulevard, you saw Emani Ellis there on the fifth floor. Was she wearing her uniform as a security guard?
Yes. Okay.
You remember it?
Again, you might want to just take a breath so you can determine an objective.
Are you aware that my office is across the street?
No.
8920 Wilshire Boulevard. You remember that number? You agree that that's the correct number? The address.
I remember that I went there, but I don't really remember the address and stuff like that. I don't.
If I show you the building, the number on it, would that help refresh your recollection?
Sure.
I don't have to really waste time if you don't want me to. When you were sitting here throughout the trial, you saw the 22
Yes.
pages I showed, right?
Yes.
Was that the correct building?
Yes.
Oh, and you remember entering the building, going up some stairs, taking the lobby elevator, and going to the fifth floor, right?
Yes.
And when you exited, you saw Emani Ellis right there in front of you.
Yes. No. When I exited the elevator,
Okay.
not the building, the elevator.
Correct. On the
Yes.
fifth.
Mm-hmm.
And there was 3 elevators there?
I do not remember that.
At least two different elevator bays?
I don't remember that. I just remember me getting out the elevator. She was coming in. I was coming out. I could hear her. She was talking on the phone. And she said, "Oh my God, yo, Cardi B's here." So I kind of speed walk. But I feel her behind me. Then I hear her talking like, "Oh my God, Cardi B is here." So I turn around and she had her phone. She didn't have it here no more. Now she has it here. And I asked her, "Yo, why are you recording me?" And she clearly looked like the security. She looked like the security guard. She's uniformed down. And I'm like, "Why are you recording me? Are you security?" And she's like, "Oh, my bad." But then I'm walking and I feel her still following me. So like as I'm walking, speed walking, trying to look for the office, I turn around again. I'm like, "Why are you following me?" She's like, "Because I can." It's like, "No, you can't. Why are you following me for? Like, ain't you supposed to be security?" And she's like, "Because I can." It's like, "No, you can't." And she's like getting closer and closer. Like now she's like in front of me where I can't even like really maneuver. And I'm like, "Ain't you supposed to be security? Like you grouped out, you're recording me. Now you following me. Like back up." And she's like, "I can do what I want." It's like, "No, you can. Like you can't do what you want." And that's when we started arguing.
And what did you say?
I was like, "You can't do what you want. Like, what are you talking about? Like, it's like you invading my privacy." And now we're like chest to chest practically. So I keep telling her like, you need to back up. And I'm thinking to myself like, this girl is big. She's big. She got big black boots on. And I'm like, damn. What am I gonna do now? She's literally right in my face, like on my chest, and we're arguing. And I keep telling her to back up, but she's not backing up. And we arguing, cursing at each other. I did call her the B word. I did call her a bitch. Like, "Bitch, get out of my face." I did say, "Bitch, get the fuck out of my face. You're in my face. You're screaming in my face." We're like literally screaming at each other. And she kept telling me like, "You're gonna leave my building." I'm like, "I'm not leaving. Like, how you harassing me? I'm not leaving. And you telling me, how you telling me to leave? I came to see a doctor. You following me. You're recording me. I'm just trying to check my cat. You're recording me." And we're arguing. That's when the receptionist came out. She started wilding out like, "This bitch hit me. And I'm like, I did not hit her. I'm looking at her like, "Girl, I can't even hit you if I want to. You're bigger than me and you're pregnant." And she just started wilding out like, "This bitch hit me. Then the doctor came out and he's like, "Go to my office." And after that, I just walk away. And that's just that.
Are you aware in the city of Beverly Hills, if a security guard tells you to leave the building, which they are security of, you would be required to do that. Do you agree with that?
Objection relevance.
A security not supposed to.
You don't need to.
So security can just say, get out my building.
Did Ms. Emani Ellis tell you that you're causing a disturbance in the building?
No, she was causing a disturbance. She's recording me and following me.
Let's talk about that. Are people allowed to record you if they want to in a public place, which will be the building that you were at? Yes or no?
Objection calls for a legal conclusion. Mischaracterizes.
Do you know if it's okay for someone to videotape you?
Objection calls for a legal conclusion.
Sustained.
When she videotaped you, or maybe she didn't, what proof do you have that she was videotaping you?
She had her phone went from here to right here. And she said, like, yo, Cardi B, like, I seen her. I turned around and I seen it. I seen it with my own eyes.
Did you ever see the actual video recording of you on her phone? Yes or no?
No.
Could it be possible that she was recording you? She was simply holding her phone in front of you. Is that possible?
Objection.
Yes or no?
Calls for speculation.
Sustained.
What proof do you have that you were being recorded by Emani Ellis on February 24, 2018, aside from what you just told us?
Objection.
Do you have any other proof?
Objection has been answered.
Sustained.
Isn't it true that you usually wear your nails longer than what they are today?
Sometimes, most of the times, yes, and some of the times, no.
Most of the time, 90% of the time?
Lately, as in so far, I'll say about, in the past year, I'll say about 70.
70% of
Yes.
the time. And when you wear them long, would you agree that they're about 3 inches long?
No, not all the time, no.
2 inches or more?
So,
It really depends.
why don't we focus? She said in the last year. I don't know how long she has her nails in the last year is relevant to anything.
And when you had them in 2018, you also wore them long at that time too, correct?
I wear them long, but it really depends on the inches.
How long were your nails on February 24th, 2018 when you were at the building speaking or arguing or whatever you were doing with Emani Ellis?
They were 1 inch, they were square, coffin squared, and they had flat rhinestones.
Are rhinestones sharp?
No, not if they're flat. And they weren't 3D, they were flat.
With the nails you have on right now, do you think that these nails are sharper or the ones that you had on the date of the incident?
I believe that they were not sharp that day. They were square. And sometimes, like, when it's acrylic and it's square, it's like a texture. And I always tell this to my nail tech, make sure that, like, you shape, like when you shape them, don't make them sharp on the side, or don't make them that sharp, because I don't want to.
You don't want to hurt her.
I don't want to hurt myself. I don't want to hurt nobody. I just, you know what I'm saying?
And in the past, when you had them sharp, you did hurt yourself, correct?
I never really hurt myself, but like just in case, I just be like, don't make them too pointy, because I just don't want them to be uncomfortable. Not pointy, but it's like a certain type of sharp that you just don't want.
And if you wanted to scratch or cut Miss Emani Ellis' face,
No.
you could have done it with both of your hands, either one or both, correct?
Objection calls for speculation.
Overruled.
I'm not saying you did that right now. I'm asking a different question. Did you understand my question?
I mean, how would I fight? How would I fight somebody? I am mostly left-handed, so if I was to like do anything mostly, I'll do it mostly with the left hand. I'm really like.
You're good at fighting with your left hand, aren't you?
Objection is characterized as the testimony.
Are you? are you good at fighting with your left hand?
Objection like foundation.
What is this relative?
Do you have any experience fighting with any martial arts experience or other type of experience to defend yourself should something occur in your life?
Objection relevance.
Over.
Not really, no.
So any type of fighting that you would be able to do, it would just be freestyle from your own knowledge of fighting, correct?
Objection, argument.
Sustained.
If you wanted to fight with someone, would you use your left hand, your right hand, or both?
Objection, asked and answered.
Sustained. Why don't we move on?
When you enter a building, such as this building or any building, oftentimes you will see that there's a security guard or a police officer or a sheriff guarding the building, correct? You saw that today here in the courthouse, didn't you?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, it's not. And on the date of the incident, the security guard, police officer, or person securing that building, in your mind, when you saw Emani Ellis was in fact Emani Ellis. In your mind, when you got off the elevator, Emani Ellis was in your mind, your state of mind was that she was a security guard, correct?
Objection.
I think she's answering.
Yes.
And was there any doubt in your mind that she was a security guard?
There was no doubt in my mind that she was a security guard. She had the security guard outfit on. That's why I was so confused that she was so aggressive and she's supposed to protect me, the patient.
I understand. If Emani Ellis had in fact told you to leave the building, would you have listened because she was a security guard?
Objection, this is complete hypothetical, irrelevant, like foundation.
Sustained.
Did Miss Emani Ellis tell you to leave the building at any point during your verbal or physical altercation on February 24th, 2018?
She told me, "You gonna leave my building. You gonna leave my building."
Are you aware that Emani Ellis was hired by the owner of that building and had the right to tell you to leave?
Objection, calls for legal conclusion, like foundation.
Sustained.
When Emani Ellis told you to leave the building, did you follow her commands?
Objection. Relevance, like foundation.
You can answer.
No, she wasn't acting like a security guard.
But she was a security guard.
Objection, he's arguing.
The security guard
So,
tried to
we're not
attack
gonna- we're not
patients.
gonna argue. The objection is sustained. We're not going to argue with each other.
Did you believe in your mind that Emani Ellis was a police officer?
No,
If you thought she was a police officer, would you have handled the situation the same way?
Objection, incomplete hypothetical.
Sustained. Let's just focus on that.
Now, when Emani Ellis spoke with you, when you exited the elevator, she spoke with you directly outside the elevator, the area directly outside the elevators, correct?
I don't believe she got inside the elevator. I don't believe she did.
That's my question. Did whatever happened between the two of you, did it happen inside the elevator, at the point of entry, or outside the elevator?
Outside the elevator and down the hallway.
Fine. And when Miss Ellis was asked the same question, do you remember her saying that it happened outside of the elevator as well? Do you agree with her testimony?
It wasn't in front of the elevator anymore because I was walking and she was following me. So it wasn't in front of the elevator. It was outside the elevator because I already got off the elevator. I don't think she ever went inside the elevator because I felt her as soon as I'm walking. I felt her walking right behind me, and then she said something. She said, "Oh my God, Cardi B!" That's when I turned around, and she got the camera right here, like Like she recorded me, and I'm like, yo, why you recording me? And she practically did admit that she recorded me because she said, oh, my bad.
Okay.
So
And when she said, "Oh wow, it's Cardi B," or whatever you just said right now, when she said that, was that offensive to you?
it wasn't offensive. I just kept like power walking so I could avoid more contact. But she just kept following me.
Okay. And isn't it true that sometimes when you're walking around, different people will say, "Oh wow, it's Cardi B,"
Yeah,
because they get excited.
yeah,
And you had experienced that many times before you had that experience with Emani Ellis, correct?
yes.
And the reason you didn't like it from her is because she was a security guard and you felt it was unprofessional for her to say that to you. Isn't that true?
When she first said it, I didn't tell her nothing. I kept walking.
Why couldn't she say it? Why?
I never said she couldn't.
Okay. And she said it to you.
She said it to me, and I kept walking.
What if she was not a security guard and she was just a random human and said, "Oh wow, it's Cardi B"? Would you have taken offense to that?
No,
You can answer.
I didn't even feel offended when she first said it. I felt offended when she kept following me. She recorded me, and you're supposed to be a security. You're not supposed to be recording patients going to any doctor, any.
But again,
That's what offended me. When she first said, oh my God, it's Cardi B, I just kept power walking. I didn't say nothing. I said something the second time she said it, and I turned around and I saw that she was recording me. And I'm like, yo, why are you recording me? Ain't you supposed to be security? And she said, oh, my bad. Then she kept following me, and now I'm getting annoyed. Like, it's like, you're the security guard of the building.
No question pending. No question.
All right, Council, I think that might be a good time to end because we've got some things that we need to deal with outside the presence of the jury.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to resume right back at 9:30 again. Thank you for your patience today and your attention. We will see you tomorrow at 9:30. In the meantime, please do not discuss the case with anyone, including other jurors. Don't form any opinions or do any research.
I don't know, y'all. I think Cardi is doing what she's supposed to do on this here stand. I'm just saying. I know some of the anti-Cardi fans are gonna be mad, but I kind of believe her. She sounds believable, and that is so his attorney. Well, Miss Ellis's attorney is basically trying to say you should be used to people saying, there goes Cardi B. You should be used to people being in your space. You should be used to the fact that you ain't supposed to really have any type of privacy. And you should be used to that. So what was the problem with her? Because you don't like security guards? Like, where do you get that from? I think it's a ridiculous conclusion.
All right, so let's address the issues of Tiara Malcolm and David Finke as witnesses.
May I argue that after counsel does?
Yeah, so let me just make sure that
You have to go to the doctor's office and worry about people following you.
we squarely get everything on the record in terms of what defendant's position is. And so defendant's position, if you want to summarize what you knew and when you knew it.
Thank you, Your Honor. Excuse me. As Ms. Almazar testified, she did not know the name of the receptionist. She did not know the name of the doctor that she visited that one day. In the January 17, 2023 discovery responses of defendant, she responded in a verified response that the potential witnesses included her, the plaintiff, and unknown staff employees of the medical center building who intervened during the incident. There was no motion to compel that was filed against that. And at that point in time, neither she nor her counsel knew the identity of the two individuals. There's actually another response where, I don't see it here, but go ahead and play. My copy of the. I'm not sure where it went to. Oh, yes, it disappeared. And now I've got it. Okay, so in Exhibit 1 to the motion, the supplemental motion that we filed, excuse me, she identified at page 10, Emani Ellis, and unknown staff employees at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, including at least 2 such persons who intervened during the incident. She described them, identified them as people who intervened, specific people, 2 people who intervened in the incident, and but she at that point did not know their names. It was years after that she never, had gone there again. Plaintiff's counsel did not move to compel. It did not file or serve a response to supplement discovery. Exhibit 2 is a comparable discovery response in January 7, 2023 that also referred similarly to the 2 by what they had done, at least 2 such persons who intervened during the incident. It was not until last year, that we learned of.
Did you bring all your glasses today?
Yeah. We added, well, it's not until 2024 that we actually identified Dr. Finke, which was Ms. Moore's hard work. It wasn't easy. And we put Finke on the 2024 witness list, which is Exhibit 5 to the memorandum that we filed.
Okay, why don't you move on to Ms. Malcolm?
Okay, and Ms. Malcolm, she was the receptionist. She no longer worked at that firm by the time that the litigation had started at that medical center. And Malcolm's identity was only discovered on July 28, 2025, following further investigation by defendant's counsel. So then we talked about adding her to the exhibit list, witness list, and she was added to our witness list. I think counsel's looking at me like I don't know what I'm talking about, but but I believe that she was put on our witness list. Yes. In July that we filed. There have been times when the court has referred to the defendant's witness list, which omitted her, even though they knew of her. Plaintiffs August 9. Oh, I'm sorry. They actually had intended to call these 2 people as well. They did not identify them by name, even though plaintiff worked there and knew these people. She knew who Dr. Finke was. He intervened. She knew who the receptionist was. She worked there. Plaintiff worked there as well. Their August 9, 2022 discovery response identified as witnesses, quote, employees of doctor's office located near the scene. Then also, plaintiff testified in her deposition, which is Exhibit 4 to the memorandum we filed, quote, she is going to be bringing forward at the time of trial people from the doctor's office. So these are people that she knew about. She didn't identify. We didn't know about it. We found it out on our own, and we promptly disclosed it. Again.
Well, and I guess that's the question is, what is promptly disclosed? You learned about it on the 28th. Did you call plaintiff's counsel and say, hey, we found her?
July 28, 2025 was when Malcolm's identity was discovered, and that's when we added the I think it was July 30th when we filed. I could be wrong. Filed.
I believe it was the following week.
The following week. And my colleague will clarify that. May I respond?
I just want to make sure that I understand.
So they're trying to get this doctor that allegedly intervened in the reception,
I
and
don't
they
see
want to call
anything.
him.
I see the next witness list after that is being 820.
And then interestingly, he doesn't want,
That's when he filed, he admitted her. Oh,
it doesn't sound like they want them to testify on the
well,
plaintiff.
that's an issue.
And so did
They're
you,
saying
did
they
you,
weren't
how did you
disclosed.
communicate Ms. Malcolm's name to plaintiff's counsel?
Man,
Yeah.
Your Honor, we were we were providing drafts for this latest round of the trial filings. And as soon as we found out, we put it on the witness list. And on one of those drafts before they were filed.
And I'm asking, when did that happen?
I'm not sure. I know it was before August 20th.
Okay,
And we heard your.
go ahead. Well, actually, let me first start. So, Ms. Ellis, you understand you're still under oath, yes?
Yes.
Okay, I have a declaration from Tiara Malcolm, and she states that you telephoned her approximately 2 months after the incident, and that you asked her for her assistance in pursuing claims, and she said she didn't want to get involved. And she said, quote, she told you, "You've got to be kidding me." Did that conversation happen?
Never.
Did you do anything to investigate your claims after the incident?
No.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Mr. John Fawcett.
With respect to Malcolm, the first time I learned of it, I was given a partial document which only has about 50 pages. I was given it yesterday for the first time in the middle of the trial.
It was on your joint witness list on May 10th of 2024.
What was it?
His name.
I'm talking about the Malcolm, not the name of the
Oh.
document.
I'm sorry, okay, go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
So what I wanted the court to know is I've been intimately involved with this case. My office is located across the street, 9025 Wilshire Boulevard. As an officer of the court, I declare under penalty of perjury. I never walked inside Dr. Finke's office one time. I never gave him my business card. All that's written there is not me. It's not true. It is false. It is a mistake or false, not my problem. I'm just telling you this as an officer of the court. I will not damage my reputation with you for this small issue. I just want it to be clear.
okay.
I never
And
did it.
I think there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for this, and that it might have been workers' comp counsel.
I don't think so. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't me.
Did she have an attorney in the workers' comp case?
I understand that she did, but not for this. They're not going to go after this document.
No, I understand that, but just to get witnesses to what happened.
I don't think, Your Honor, that that's what the purpose was. So
Okay.
is there a need for me to argue more?
No, well, as to Finke, he was on the witness list in 2024.
May I finish? I'm sorry.
Sure.
Oh.
So why don't you address why you didn't want to do any, you knew who it was. So,
Okay, so I'll address it. Your
Go
Honor,
ahead.
Your Honor, I did spend a lot of time doing the opposition, and I tried to do the same thing with the witness, Miss Belcalis Marlinis Almanzar, Cardi B. She herself testified that she was able to get the doctor's name in a matter of a few days, or whatever it is.
So let's just focus on the fact that in May 10, 2024, you knew who this doctor was.
I did not know.
You knew he was on the witness list.
I don't remember it being on the witness list.
It was.
It could have been.
I'm
But
telling
at
you it
that
was.
time, I believe you, Your Honor. So what I want to say to the court is, at that time, we knew we were not going to trial. It wasn't real yet. What was real was coming to trial now in August. And in discovery, it was never produced. So if it was,
But you never sent supplemental rods.
I understand. But the
Okay.
point is, when they were responded to, the defendant could have easily gotten the name of Dr. Finke. She testified today under oath that it was her doctor. The same way plaintiff has to go and get the doctor's information in form round, so is the defendant. This goes against the Code of Civil Procedure. It's unfair, it's prejudicial, it's damaging. I wasn't able to depose this person. I get it. I didn't depose the defendant because she was out of state, but I did depose Dr. Rosenberg. And if there were witnesses to this case, I would have deposed them. Why not? So first of all, Your Honor, with respect to Dr. Finke, my position is that he should not be allowed to testify for several reasons. Really, he didn't really see anything. He didn't. And it's really not that exciting.
How do you know that?
Because I know that. I know that. And we'll see that. If the court wants to allow him to testify, I'm open to that thought process because he didn't see anything. I really wouldn't care about him. But this random person, Tiara Malcolm, is a problem. Why? Because I wasn't able to take her deposition, cross-examine her. She was never put on any witness list. Even my own that I did on August 20th, when I filed it, wasn't there.
The two individuals that I thought were the witnesses are Dr. Azizolai and Ms. Parsi. Those two people are on the witness list. This whole idea came about because counsel said, well, we shouldn't have Azizolai, we shouldn't have Parsi. And then I said, well, then I'm going to jump on the bandwagon too, and you shouldn't have yours. And that's why we're here today, Your Honor.
Okay, so let me refresh my recollection. I don't remember if we had a court reporter at the time. But at the time of our final status conference, there were discussions about this receptionist. I think there were discussions about you were actively engaged in trying to identify her, and you would inform counsel if and when you did. That conversation happened, correct?
Nobody informed me nothing. All I was given.
No, I'm saying at the time of the final status conference, that was a conversation that was had.
I don't remember it that way. I'm not that smart like the court is. I don't remember it that way. All I can say is it's inappropriate to be given a document in the middle of the trial. With this court, the way that it is, it's super fast. The court doesn't want me to spend a lot of time asking people questions and practically doing a deposition. So I would submit that.
Let's just say for the record, I let people try their cases.
Right.
I'm not going to let you waste the jury's time.
Of course,
Okay?
I understand that. So my request is Tierra Malcolm is out because no one at any point called me, did anything to give me this information till yesterday when their attorney, Lisa Moore, who's not the main attorney, there's another lawyer here, he could have signed the declaration. I don't know why he didn't. Why is she doing it? Everything's been done by Peter Anderson and Eric Lamb with all of his other attorneys that he has helped him.
Well, I think she was the one with boots on the ground according to her declaration. But
Yeah.
so let's. So we find out about her on the 28th, and I see the witness list on the 20th. So I guess my concern is the gap of period of time, or actually, can you confirm, did we have that conversation that you were actively trying to find her?
That's my recollection, that she definitely came up. I don't recall if we had just found her or if we were still actively trying to find her. Unfortunately, we don't have the back and forth. And for example, Mr. Lamb's, sorry. I think that was the name. If Your Honor likes, we can check to see when we actually sent a draft with her name to a draft witness list with her name to counsel. He definitely did not just find out about her yesterday.
I'm sorry.
If I may. And so we can do that. We just can't do it here because we've got a lot of trial documents and not many discovery documents or drafts of discovery documents.
Yeah.
But we can't submit that. I can tell you, Your Honor, that once we found her, and this is a woman, by the way, who's integral to the case that plaintiff has known about since day one, and counsel says his office was across the street, but he never bothered to walk across the street to find out her name. Anyway, to make a long story short, we can provide that information. We can check if you like, but we did promptly disclose. I believe it was in a draft joint witness list that we had submitted. We submitted several as soon as we found her within a week.
May I reply, Your Honor?
Go ahead.
This case was set to be tried in 2024. It was continued over and over and over, and discovery was closed. This court did not reopen discovery. So this issue has been sleeping for at least a year, and it's unfair and prejudicial to the plaintiff to allow this random witness to show up at the eve of, not even the eve, in the middle of trial.
I think let's be fair. You both identified people at the medical center. You both knew that these were people. I mean, your client testified that there was people that came out. So she knew that there were people that came out.
No. The two individuals that I have, these are people that know about the incident. These are not the two individuals that they're talking about. There was nobody at the scene till after the fact. So whoever these people are, they're not going to really say anything fair. And for them to drop it on me in the middle of the trial is unfair.
Basically, they're
wanna
not
bring
going to
Dr.
corroborate
Finke, he
his
wants to
client's
say I came
testimony.
out, I heard there was an altercation. I'm not too concerned about him. I'm more concerned about Tierra Malcolm. I have no idea who she is, what she's going to say, and that one has never been given to me. And this case, discovery has been closed for over a year. Why should she be allowed to testify? It doesn't make sense.
Your Honor, may I just very briefly?
Sure.
We've been asking, and counsel hasn't told us who this Farzi, I'm not even gonna try, I don't know if that's, I just don't know how to pronounce his last name. And the woman, we've been asking how they're relevant, given that Farzi, for lack of, just attempt to avoid trying to name his last name, he's on 4-3, and he doesn't come in on Saturdays, he wasn't there. And the other person they identified is the receptionist at the building office, which is closed on Saturdays. The suggestion that the two people everyone's been talking about throughout this case, who came out of the doctor's office, for some reason weren't the doctor and the receptionist, is just absurd.
Your Honor, he's testifying to things he doesn't know. How does he know that my doctor and my his assistant were there on Saturday? How does he know that?
I
If
don't
he
know.
can prove me that, I'll withdraw all my objections. He can't. He's just making up stories. He's
Well,
absolutely.
So I guess the question is, let's just talk about reasonable diligence. And so, plaintiff's counsel knew that the receptionist of the Women's Care of Beverly Hills was at least identified as a category of a person,
I think the judge wants to
To
hear
be-
from him.
a trial witness, correct?
I believe so.
Okay. Did you do anything to try and figure out who that was?
There was nothing to do. It's a 6-year-old issue. I didn't know somebody could even pop up. Why would they? Well, how could I do it, Your Honor? How? Would it be possible?
All right.
You're crossing.
And to what extent, if any, is it possible to get her deposed between now and Tuesday?
Well, Your Honor, it sounds like plaintiff is going to be resting tomorrow. We expect her to testify tomorrow. She also, she is out of town. Yeah, that's our plan is for her to testify tomorrow. And if it helps, maybe without the jury, she can give an offer of proof or something. But we're talking about a 30-second incident. The idea that, and by the way, he didn't take Dr. McKenna's deposition. He didn't take, that proceeded without him because he didn't bother to show up. He didn't take the defendant's deposition. The idea that at this late point, he gets to take a deposition of someone who he has known about and his client has known about since she worked there. I just don't see the fairness in that.
Your Honor, she was.
All right, let me do this. I'm going to rule that Dr. Finke can testify. I'm going to take it under submission. I'm going to look a little bit further into the Malcolm issue. I will tell you, I'm leaning, since the person was identified apparently for years, I don't think that it's an unfair surprise that she was finally identified. So that's where I'm leaning, but I'm not going to make that decision right now. So I'll rule tomorrow morning on the issue of the receptionist.
And how about that position?
Well, I'll rule tomorrow.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
9:30 tomorrow?
So I think there was a discussion at the final status conference regarding who was demanding jury, and I thought the defendant was demanding jury.
I assume plaintiff had demanded a jury.
I believe both sides.
I thought both sides.
Oh, okay, so I didn't realize that. We weren't counsel at the time.
No, I think it was addressed at the final status conference in terms of paying the jury fees.
Oh, I don't recall that at all. I'm sorry.
Is that an issue?
No, we'll split them.
Okay, all right. Fine.
My apologies
Yes,
for the confusion.
exhibits for today.
Oh, exhibits for today. See, keep me on track. Are there any exhibits that were moving into evidence?
I believe there was one that the court, Dr. Monken's records and bills.
Okay. So defense counsel is going to look at, I'm sorry, it was exhibit who?
9. This was 15 pages.
No, nine was a CV.
No, you're right. I apologize. Number 4, it's 15 pages. And counsel has had the whole day to look at the 15 pages, 3 pages of which are bills. And this is something that Dr. Mulligan testified. I would ask that the court review these 15 pages of evidence.
Any objections?
If you can bear with us just for a moment, Your Honor. We don't object to the first page, which is the one he questioned him about. Beyond that,
It would be an incomplete exhibit.
Okay, how do you identify what was
So, exhibit 4, pages 1 and 2. Exhibit 4, pages 1 and 2. Yeah, that's it. 1 and 2.
One of the problems, Your Honor, is we're having trouble because he combined as a single exhibit multiple different pages and then referred to like exhibit 4, pages 1 to 3, then exhibit 4, some other thing.
Your Honor,
So it basically confused Jesus.
it's not confusing. I'm left-handed, I do perfection work, this is in perfect order. I think the court's left-handed too and would relate.
What's not?
This is in nice, perfect order. You have the medical records and then the bills. It's 15 pages. It's nothing more than that.
Oh, okay.
So pages.
Your Honor, I don't want to take up your time. Can we submit in the morning, for example, pages, exhibit 4007 has no relationship to the preceding exhibits.
Yeah, so my suggestion was going to be to admit exhibit 4, 1 through 6. I don't think he testified as to the patient information form, how it was filled out.
Correct.
And then the billing, exhibit 4, 13 through 15.
I am tired. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I am trying to stay awake. So for those of you that didn't know what happened before this, now they're arguing over whether an exhibit is entered. So it sounds like Cardi's team wants to have the doctor testify and the receptionist who intervened. Because their names just were disclosed, now they generally put whoever worked at the office, we'll generally put on the witness list, if we don't know the names, any and all employees, staff, receptionists, doctors with information at so-and-so entity. You'll put that on the witness list. Well, they never identify who the person was until I guess a week ago or whatever. So now Emani's attorney is basically saying he's prejudiced because he don't know what the receptionist is going to say. I think personally he knows that these witnesses are not going to corroborate his client's testimony. And so he's fighting really hard. So the judge is going to let the doctor who allegedly came out, is going to let the doctor testify, but the receptionist is taken under advisement, but the judge is leaning towards allowing her to testify tomorrow. Apparently, her case is pretty much done. They said she's going to rest tomorrow. So this is all that this lady has is what you see. What we've seen in the last 2 days is what she has. So that's why he's fighting tooth and nail. So calling Cardi B, somebody mentioned something about Cardi B and why would she testify and all of that, and she shouldn't have. She was called by the plaintiff's attorney as an adverse hostile witness. So that is why she was called. That wasn't so saying she shouldn't have took the stand. She didn't have a choice. And actually, she probably should take the stand anyway. But I don't think that it worked out the way he wants it to work out. But it's not over. So tomorrow morning, it'll be the same thing with him, with her getting on the stand. Looks like the exhibit that they're arguing about now, I believe, is a bill that they were trying to get in on amounts. But I think that's the least of their worries. I don't know if they proven their case, but that's what's going on.
That's fine, Your Honor. There was also exhibit 4-9, where I did ask him about, to read from the record, and the court didn't want him to read that, the bottom about the prior doctors. Dr. Scher is written there. I think that's important for the jury to know that she went to this doctor before.
I'm not sure he testified to that.
He did. He talked about it.
I think there's adequate testimony for that. So
Yes.
I'll admit 1 through 6 and 13 through 15.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
That's absolutely right, Your Honor.
Not 4-9. Right?
All right, and then was there anything else?
I got a 1-4.
That's the list of medical bills of plaintiff.
that is actually a list that council
Yes,
prepared.
Yes, it is.
Council prepared.
Okay, that's not coming in now.
I would do it in closing. I'd like to show the jury the list instead of writing it down.
Well, to the extent that there's evidence supporting it, sure.
Thank you, 504.
And if the court wanted to know about
So you, I think, Dr. McKinsey testified as to Exhibit 2. Did you want to move any of those in?
no, plaintiff is considering that to be hearsay. The first,
Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
We offered 206, 207, 225, and 222, and we would move to admit.
those are all the same.
Those are all McKinsey.
Just numbered differently. So I would say plaintiff objects to those because she's not an expert.
We didn't, we used it for the facts that are recited in there and
Well-
as party admissions of plaintiff. And they do include, I think it's 2 of the documents that counsel examined on, the plaintiff's counsel.
So I just want to make sure you understand, you want her diagnosis admitted into evidence.
I'm being told no.
Your Honor, I think all of McKinsey should be excluded because they're hearsay. She said she doesn't work for this facility anymore.
Well, in addition to being hearsay, it's got a lot of excluded expert testimony. So I'm not going to admit any of the McKinsey documents.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Have a great day.
Anything else?
Well, thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. See you. Why don't we?
Can I get some rest? 9:30. Please, I'm so tired. I apologize.
That's how trials are.
I need a break.
Sleeps for transactional attorneys.
I'm gonna write that down.
You said 9:30. It's always 9. What else do we have to talk about, Your Honor?
Verdict form. Jury instructions were good.
Well, we've got the competing jury instructions.
Okay. Why don't you work on those? And who are you calling tomorrow?
That would depend on this ruling of.
Well, I just ruled on one.
Well, on Aziz Olahi, there's no ruling. On Parsi, there's no ruling. How would I know?
The only thing we asked for was an offer of proof because we don't know who these people
Who
are.
are those people?
It's the same thing like their side, Your Honor. These are witnesses who are at the last minute thrown on the witness list. I did what they did. I'm admitting to it. The difference is I can admit to my faults.
What are they going to say?
Yeah, just what is the offer of proof? What are they going
The
to say?
same thing that their witnesses are going to say, that there was a disturbance in the building. They came out and they saw things after the fact. It's worthless. All of these 4 witnesses are worthless.
Are all objections withdrawn then? You get your witnesses, he gets his?
Well, Your Honor, he just said his witnesses are worthless.
I didn't say they were
Guy in a
worthless.
different
Sorry,
court.
One at a time, please.
So there's Michael Shook, who saw the incident. There's Dr. Aziz Olahi. There's Anita Parsi. These are 3 witnesses. And if they're getting their witnesses, then I will get mine.
Well, if you just ask, so they're witnesses to the incident,
Yes.
and you just learned of them, you didn't have,
No, I didn't learn of them. The same way that they did their investigation, we did ours.
So you
And
did
this
an
is what we
investigation,
found.
then find out who the
And this is
doctor
what we
is.
wanted to do. To streamline the case, I think what would be fair is they get to have Dr. Finke. Malcolm is out. And if that were to occur, I would consider withdrawing a couple of these witnesses and just having 1 and 1. Maybe we'll have 2 doctors.
Malcolm is a crucial witness that both sides have witnesses who have testified to. She intervened in the argument. I don't know who these other people are, and if counsel knew about them, who's obligated to
well,
testify.
why don't you guys meet and confer about it? We'll discuss it tomorrow, but, so potentially you've got some other witnesses.
Yes.
Okay,
Relax,
all right.
Cardi.
See you tomorrow.
Relax, sis. Relax, sis. Cardi is over it, okay? She like, what are they saying? What are they talking about? All right, y'all. So we'll be back tomorrow around 12:30ish Eastern Standard Time. Cardi will resume her testimony, and then whatever happens after that sounds like it's up in the air.
because the judge is not making decisions yet on who's going to be allowed to testify, because they got these last minute testimonies from the people in the medical facility. After subsequently to that, then Cardi will put on her case. So I don't even see this case even going past this week, honestly. Somebody said 2 weeks. I don't see it going past Friday, but nonetheless, we'll be here streaming. And thank you to everybody that decided to watch it with us. I appreciate it, but I gotta go. I'm so sleepy. I'm about to go to bed at 8:30. All right. So you guys have a good night. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. And like the video. We've been here all day. This is the second, this almost a 4-hour video. The last one was over 3 hours. So we've been doing this all day long. I'm gonna holler at you guys later. Oh, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok, pam.esq. Talk to you all later.